Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back. We are here.
Hi.
It is Monday.
Hi.
How was everybody's weekend? I hope it was delightful.
Do you?
Yeah, actually, I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
He was running around here today screaming, I hope everybody is in pain. I don't know what that means.
Me? I was doing that?
He was hoping everybody was in pain.
Was that-
I don't understand, because that seems kind of mean.
Yeah. Hello. Hi, T. Schmidt. Hi, Paint Liquor. Hi, Wad Tomato N. Deadbeat Artist, Bakamaru.
Sailor
hello,
Moon? What?
Sailor Moon. Hello. Welcome.
That doesn't look like Jen. Jen is having a rough day.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, Jen had to go home.
Yeah.
Jen had been working all weekend, pulling orders, shipping orders, and she conked out today. She couldn't do it anymore.
Which means you get Baby J in the producer chair. Hello.
Sexy Baby J.
Sexy Baby J.
Please don't ever say that.
Look, we need to lighten the mood a little bit.
Please don't ever. Don't do that. That'll be the thing of my nightmares.
Sultry tones with Baby J.
Jen's here.
Hi, Jen.
Watching will make you feel
Hello.
better. These are a little rough today, gang. Some hearts in chat for Jen.
Mm-hmm.
Jen's been doing the heavy lifting around here, so in more ways than one.
It's true.
We came yesterday and did a bunch of orders, and I think I was pulling orders and she was shipping them. I feel like we got through quite a bit, but it didn't even really make a dent. We
had
feel like we did anything by the time
with the amount of bottles of stuff that we sold this last weekend. Oh my goodness, yeah. No.
It did not look like we really made a dent, so that kind of sucked, but whatever. All right.
Just for Jen, no paint eating talk for one day. Can we make a deal, chat? This is from Bakamaru.
No paint eating talk.
Game Delay, happy Monday, and hello, everyone, and congrats on all the sales. Why, thank you, Game Delay. That's very kind of you to say.
Thank you. It's always fun when we have a new product release. It's also at a holiday, so makes it
Extra
well, a holiday
extra
that
exciting.
is literally. I mean, there's Thanksgiving, and then there's a million people wanting to buy things on Friday. So, it gets to where it's it sounds a little negative, I guess, to say that the holiday is mainly a shopping holiday now, but it kind of is, right? Like this whole last weekend is craziness. Right.
Panic Bomb Arcade subscribed. Hello, thank you for the sub, Panic Bomb.
Hey, Bob, what's going on?
You're on your 4-month streak. That is awesome.
Gladiator, what's happening?
And good afternoon.
In the accent from Inglourious Bastards. Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
I feel like he was really bad about it.
I absolutely think that movie is hilarious.
It has some funny parts. I did not really find it a great movie overall, but it has some spots in it that were really, really funny. Yeah,
there's some seriously like peak quality jokage happening.
Yeah, but it's weird that it's not a movie that I ever see and I'm thinking I need to go back and watch that again.
Well, huzzah.
Whoa.
Throw back my legs and pollute my britches with delight.
So I'm not used to hearing it from over here, and it's really loud.
What's that? When you're sitting right next to it? Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think the movie doesn't end particularly well. It kind of falls flat towards the end.
Is that one a Tarantino?
Yeah.
I feel like Tarantino's kind of known for that, though.
I mean, he's got
Past Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction, I feel like he's kind of known for that.
I haven't seen Reservoir Dogs, so I need to see Reservoir Dogs. I can't say it correctly. Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs. It is kind of a tough word. It's not one you say every day.
Reservoir. Yeah.
I was taking a trip down to the reservoir, and
Reservoir.
It's not a thing you say.
Reservoir. Dogs.
Reservoir.
I think it's the O
That's totally
sound
different
in
thing.
dogs when you say it together that kind of messes me up.
Reservoir Dogs?
Yeah, because you're doing the ooh for the
Arnold
or
Palmer.
and then dog at the same time. It's just kind of like a weird. You have to like make your
Arnold
face
Palmer.
reset. Super Blader, thank you also for the sub.
Rural
also
juror.
for 4 months.
That's like not even a thing. Like rural juror is just made to make you have problems. That's the only reason those two words put in that order would even be a thing.
You know what the funny thing is? I think rural juror is actually easier.
Rural
Juror. Because you're making more of the same sounds.
Normal humans can't pronounce that.
Rural juror?
Yeah, you see, that's it. Rural juror.
Yeah. It's really odd.
Painting a thing.
Treebird Paints, Prince, good afternoon. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving full of paint. Well, it was full of paint for some of us. I was off in the middle.
In a lot of ways.
In a lot of ways.
I was pulling paint, and Jen was packing paint, and the two of us did a lot of work.
Yeah, I was, in fact...
I say that. Jen did all the work. Friday, all I did, honestly, was put stuff on the internet, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to start with some Payne's Gray. We are going to get this model prepped for a noosh video we're going to do. So I am taking a break from our normal programming of painting Warcry Gorger Maw Pack so that we can have some fun. See if that guy will stick on there. What do we think?
Hello, Yar, it's Tony. 34 months subscribed. Thank you for the sub, Yar, it's Tony.
Impossible. Where is...
I certainly was also out in rural parts of America.
If you were...
What are you looking for?
Poster tack.
You know, I was looking for poster tack the other day, and I could not find it. However, if you want to steal the handle that I was using, you could probably get that to work.
If I were poster tack, chat, where would I be?
I don't know. Do you want me to look for it?
No.
Okay. I'll keep chat entertained while we go on a journey for poster tack.
I'll continue to look around for a moment.
Game delay. It has some peak quality jokage. Sounds like damning with faint praise.
What had peak quality jokage?
Inglourious Bastards.
Oh. Yeah. I thought that was too slapsticky. You know? I don't prefer my movies to be that way. It doesn't make them bad or good. It's not something I enjoy as much. You know, that's very odd. Like, where did it go?
I was not, in fact, a juror. Game delay. I was out in Boise. Not actually Boise either. I was in Kuna, as I have been told it is called. Not Kuna. Kuna.
Kuna?
It is called Kuna.
What even is that?
It is a city that is small and about 15 to 20 minutes out of Boise. And that's where my mom lives.
Well, there you go.
And it is...
rural juror.
Oh, and also, it's not Boise, it's Boise, apparently.
Is there a difference?
Yes.
I heard the same thing. Those are the same picture.
Boise versus Boise.
Those are the same picture. That's what I just heard.
Like the Backstreet Boys, Boise versus Boise.
Boise. So they're the kind of people that would tell you there's no Z in Boise?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I learned a lot while I
see
was
what
out
they're
in
trying to pull
Boise.
off.
Boise. There is no Z in Boise.
I see what they're trying to say there. I know that there was some here.
There was like literally right there. Is there the... I want to say Tupperware is not the right word. The plastic bin that has some of those models in it. It might be on the shelf over there.
Plastic bin with models in it?
Or with models and paint. The clear plastic bin.
One right there, but
it doesn't have it in there. Yeah, that's where it was the last time I saw it.
Though.
Oh yeah, we probably want those.
I know we have poster tack somewhere in this building.
I know. I was looking for it the other day and I could not find it for some reason. Whale crap.
I'm gonna blame Baby J.
Hey, you know what? That's fine. You know what? I am the punching bag. Please Please.
Well, no, that's not a fair statement. Like, because
Sometimes it is actually my fault.
Sometimes the stereotype is real.
Okay. Is it actually always my fault?
And by sometimes, I mean most of the time. While I've been hunting for it, though, I've used my finger to kind of revitalize the goop that was on this one, so maybe to pile it up in the middle, reinvigorate the poster tack, so to speak. If that's a thing, I don't know if that's a thing. But.
Wad Tomato, how the heck did Baby J manage to look younger?
I think there's some in my office because I would always take like one of the older strips of it to shows in our go bag. But we'll see if this works.
Wad Tomato N. All I did was I cut off about 10 years worth of hair.
Yeah.
That's all I did.
If that was only 10 years, or if that was 10 years, then you might have something to worry about.
Maybe 5 years worth of hair.
That couldn't have even been 5 years of hair.
No. Not actually like 5 years of growth. I mean 5 years of look.
5 years of what?
Like when I had my hair the way it was before versus how I look now, the difference in years being like 5.
Oh, you're talking about like your hairstyle of 5 years.
Sure. Yeah. Sort of.
I mean,
Scientologist, thank you for the sub.
I have a question for chat. When is Payne's Gray not the answer?
When you're
using
highlighting Payne's Gray.
Probably when you're using blue-black. Or when you're using another color. But other than that.
Except for when you're using another color.
When is Payne's Gray not the answer? When you don't want to use Payne's Gray? Okay there, tough guy.
When the answer is dark plum?
God, there's so many good colors. Why do we make so many good colors, chat?
I don't. Because we like making good colors.
Chat.
And we like providing chat with good colors. Chat. Yeah.
Not wrong. Not wrong. All right, so blue. What did we decide we're doing here? Kind of Death Guardy, right?
Yeah. Death Guard. CF Bunny, cannot wait for my Black Friday order. Got the fluorescence, transparents, some brushes, so many exciting things. That's actually awesome.
It's a good haul.
That is a fantastic haul. I'm very happy to hear
good haul.
That you picked all that stuff up.
I'm excited for you. All right.
The Gentleman Paints, good day to you, sir. Good gentleman.
This is not my water bottle. I filled up your water bottle, didn't I?
Yes. That's why I put your water bottle back over there.
I'm like, wait a minute.
I was like, you grabbed the wrong one.
I'm like, wait a minute. Well, I grabbed the one that had the most water in it, and then realized that, well, I gotta go fill it up anyway. So let's see if we're lucky enough that the tops are interchangeable. Are the tops interchangeable, or does this thread not work?
Thorpaws, the beard looks exhilarated too.
Oh,
I'm not sure what an exhilarated beard looks like. Can you describe more in depth, Thorspaws?
What's this? An exhilarating beard?
Yeah, Thorspaws is saying the beard looks exhilarated too. I'm assuming in referring to me post haircut, which is funny because I didn't get my beard trimmed.
Hey, you know what I'm doing tonight?
What are you doing tonight?
Getting a haircut.
You're getting a haircut?
Oh yeah. I have a stylist appointment.
When is it?
6 something.
Okay, you're fine.
Why?
Oh, I was just thinking of the stuff after work today.
It's like at 6.
Yeah.
I think it's a couple hours for us to knock stuff down. If we can't finish it in 2 hours, whatever we got to do, then it ain't getting done today.
Yeah. I think the things that need to be done can be done. I have faith in the power of chat.
I took the scary route today, and I am having them groom as well as cut, groom, wash.
Oh,
It's like a spa day.
You're going for a fancy haircut.
It's like a spa day.
That's exciting. I haven't done one of those in a long time.
Jen's in chat. We should ask her. Like, I have enough hair to like do something with. I wonder if I should do something with my hair.
Yeah.
I should cut a mohawk. Is what I should do.
I do think it's pretty funny that I am a part of Monument Hobbies, and I go to a place to get my haircut called Monument Barber.
Oh, that's right. You use Jacob's.
Yeah, they're great. They do a really good job.
I remember when Jacob told me that his place is called Monument Barber. Well, we're like the Monument State or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
It was a copper state, but I think we're also like something about monuments, and I know there's a Monument, Arizona.
It made me laugh because when we first started talking about it, he referred to it as Monument. He's like, "Hey, I'm going to go get my haircut at Monument after work." And I was like,
well, you don't have to go very far.
Yeah, I was like, who's cutting your hair? What the heck? Also, hello, Megalodon Jaws. Welcome to chat. How
everyone had a wonderful weekend. If you're in the United States, I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Everywhere else, I hope you had a wonderful Thursday, as it's called, around the globe.
T. Schmidt. Speaking of things that should only take a couple of hours, I've been changing some light fixtures. Nothing has worked. Nothing has worked like it's supposed to. About to burn it all down and start over.
Does anybody else do silly stuff when you're cleaning your airbrush? Like paint the whole thing and then outline it?
No. I do. Yeah, no. I do other things, but not to that extent. Jen-tastic says, we're the Grand Canyon state.
That too.
So I don't know where Monument comes into play.
There's a lot of stuff in, like, Monument, Arizona Monument.
Yeah. It is really funny, though, because this place is literally, not quite a stone's throw away, but it's literally like going to Samurai. It's that close. It's like 5 minutes away.
You hope they put a lock of Baby J's hair in your order. That's disgusting.
Megalodon.
That's disgusting.
What the heck, Megalodon?
And I love how we're the Grand Canyon state, as if that's important or something. The Grand Canyon. What's so grand about it? It's just a hole in the ground. It's just a big hole in the ground.
I mean, I'd like to see it at least once. Because, you know.
I mean, it's just a hole in the ground.
I mean, yeah.
Monument Valley, yeah, maybe that. Is that in Arizona? I don't know.
Monument
I just know there's a lot of
Valley?
stuff here with a monument name, because people were like, oh, did you use the monument? And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? We weren't thinking about Arizona when we named the company.
Xenobond, you start projects over Thanksgiving Day break because you have extra time. That's that. Yep. That one. Also, thank you for the sub, Big Bobzilla. Welcome back for your 79th month. Holy cow.
Jade. The answer?
Jabe.
Jade.
The nice thing is, it is in fact Jabe. All you have to do is flip the D around. Just mirror the D and it becomes Jabe.
I've never thought of it that way.
Yeah. I just realized that after looking at the label just now.
I just realized that.
Yeah. Spitfire Miniatures. Oh, hello. Spitfire Miniatures. How do you avoid a chalky yellow? I'm assuming that this is a question on what's the best course of action to achieve a yellow without the chalky effect. The best way that I know of is to start with a light color and then spray either a transparent yellow or like a thin down warm yellow or golden yellow on top of it. I really like to do like a burnt sienna or a kind of a burnt orange with a pale yellow or an ivory, and then go over that with yellow using the yellow transparent. That has always worked really, really well for me. And it'll look really, really nice and rich and vibrant. So that's a great approach. You can also do this by hand. You don't have to do it with an airbrush. You just paint all the highlights in. It's going to look really weird until you put the yellow over it, but it will look really good after the yellow is on there. All right, we're moving pretty quick here now. T Schmidt started Tuesday, left for a week, picked it back up today. Now you need wire nuts.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah, sounds like a personal problem.
That's a ball joke.
Apparently, there's some sort of hieroglyphs in the Grand Canyon.
Yeah. Have you not heard this?
No.
There's a cave that was excavated here recently that had like Egyptian hieroglyphs in it.
Huh.
Yeah, there's
That's
no explanation, and
really
it's
odd.
Not like very widely talked about right now, and it's like halfway up the cliff wall and unobtainably tough to get to.
I mean, was it long? Well, I mean, I guess the erosion that created the Grand Canyon happened over a much longer period of time than than the Egyptians have been around.
There is a big theory that at the and this is one that it's treated as conspiracy theory type thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a group in the archaeological sciences that look at it very strongly as being that the flood mythos that is prevalent, like in the Bible and Noah and all that, is prevalent in the same time range across the entire planet in multiple different theologies and people's histories.
That's interesting.
And from indigenous peoples in North America, there's always a flood tale, a major disaster tale. And so they talk about, I forget what it is, the Younger Dryad time period or whatever it is, and they think there was an extinction level event that happened or something that occurred, and they believe it was a meteor impact in the northern wilds of what is Canada now, and upwards towards the pole took a big hit. But because the glaciers at that period in time, because it was the end of an ice age, the glaciers were so thick that there is no discernible meteor crater like in the places where you have meteor craters.
Where you would have a huge meteor
because
impact.
It was absorbed mainly by the miles thick ice caps. And that the impact and heat generated and energy generated by that created this flood because there was enough ice in that area to, when it flash melted, created the floodwaters that are talked about in a lot of ancient civilizations, up to and including the Bible. And they believe that that's where the Grand Canyon came from because they can track all of that. There's like water waves. When you look at satellite imaging, it looks like water has run down from that point across the entirety of North America in the way some hills, mountain ranges, and things like that have been affected. Yeah. And the Grand Canyon is one of the outflow things of that. So it may not have happened over as extensive a period of time as we have thought.
Yeah.
Still a long period of time.
Yeah.
In general terms. It didn't happen overnight.
Right.
But it may be a lot quicker than was thought of. But yeah, so, and of course, the part that gets conspiratorial, or that people start speaking out against it, is that there have been all these sites that have been found recently. I say all, there's been 2 or 3 sites found recently that predate what archaeologists thought were the earliest forms of like tool makers. Oh. And tools and tooling marks on obelisks and things like that have been found that date way further.
Yeah.
And so then that sparks the whole idea that perhaps this flood event wiped out more advanced civilizations, and that what we had after that told the tales of the flood were mankind getting back to survival and emerging from caves again and that kind of stuff. So it's interesting in both the scientific and the fantasy to think about. Yeah. So I like it as a thought process. I'm not smart enough to know anything one way or the other, but
cool.
It's all interesting stuff.
Hi Slayer Street. Sorry, we missed your hello. So hello back. Hope you had a good weekend.
Some jade over our blue.
Travel Cedric. Can you use your Pro Acryl paints in the airbrush without thinner? I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. That's what you just saw. I'm not thinning these at all.
Yeah, we drop our paints directly from the bottle right into the airbrush and spray.
This is base coating. There's some Payne's Gray, the bluish, dark blue, and then jade over the top of that. No thinning. Which is why it's taking me a long time to clean it up, because I'm not thinning the paint, so the airbrush becomes a little rougher to clean. Our paints are not technically, considered to be airbrush paints, but they flow very well. And so they work great through the airbrush without having to thin them for vibrant coloring. then you can thin the crud out of them as you need to get filtering. So you'll notice the next color I use, I will thin because I want to put it on as a filter. The next color I'm going to use is going to turn this model into our kind of dull white, because I'm wanting this to be a Death Guard. So the 2 colors I painted already are not colors I really want to see a lot of. So
are you going to do the green on the shoulder pads, or are you just going to leave them white?
I'll probably do the green on the shoulder pads, but I'll hand paint that.
Yeah. That's the easiest way to do it.
I'll use camo or dark yellow green, something like that. But for this
Whittle
minute,
Goblin, that color combo is so pretty. I agree.
I'm
Jade.
about to screw it all up, Whittle.
Well, it's still going to look really good.
I'm about to mess it all up, but this would look good, right? This the Payne's Gray with the Jade could be a good start for Sons of Horus.
Yeah.
Right? It just gives it a really nice shadow, and the way the Jade. My concept of doing shadows is generally using a shadow color that plays well with your mid-tone. I'm not as worried about the main color, right, or the highlights, as I am about that mid-tone, that first color that I bring up out of shadow, in this case Jade, even though the model's not going to be Jade. The blue is used instead of a purple here because the blue actually lends itself into the Jade because the Jade has a lot of blue in it. And so those two work very well together. I could have done emerald. I could have done just about anything in the green world that leans a little more blue. You know, if I go into like bright yellow greens and stuff, then maybe blue is not the right thing. Maybe purples and stuff like that. But both of them work pretty well. Purple has a constituent part of blue in it, obviously, so you can do that too. Really up to you. But I don't, you'll see, there's a lot of videos out right now that are talking in terms of like triads and making things work where you have a dark version, a mid-tone version, and a light version of a color. And that's all great thinking, but shadows become way more interesting when you don't do that, right? But in order to take that thought process a little bit further, if you're going to do like, say, Jade, and you wanted to go, make a dark Jade, and a bright Jade, you can use dark Jade as a shadow, Jade as a mid-tone, bright Jade as highlight. Looks great. But you could swap that dark Jade for the Payne's Gray like I've done here, and you get more depth out of your shadows. Because you're not relying on the colors to just look like they're shadowed or brighter versions of one another. You're actually placing more hue into certain areas strategically, more blue in the shadows to cool them off, and it tends to work a lot better. Same with reds or any color you're doing. Cool shadows, warm highlights is typical. You can flip that on its head, do warm shadows, cool highlights too, also works. Now the question is going to be, do I want to be doing something like, normally I would do this with Olive Flesh, since I don't have to match anything here, because these don't have to be anything in specific, but do I stick with what we know? I think Olive Flesh might be the idea. I could use ivory, though.
I was thinking you could even use like a khaki, would be kind of interesting.
Khaki's a little too yellow. Right?
I mean,
so,
it's a pretty
Khaki's
pale color.
Right.
It depends. If you want it to be more of the like white, then I would definitely go with
I think we're gonna do.
But if I recall, the Death Guard are definitely like a cream color.
Because we're using this for doing a noosh.
Yeah.
Workup, so I don't want to put too many colors on it.
That's true.
So I'm thinking
the white's
ivory
probably
is going to be the choice here.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to thin the crud out of ivory, because normally I would do another color. Normally here, I on my Death Guard, which I don't know, do I have any of them here?
There's one over here on the top shelf in the middle of the row.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we did these guys for my army, I did purple shadows, right? And then the jade, and then over the top of the jade and the purple, I did light umber. And the light umber over those gave me that kind of wanting to move to white.
Yeah.
Right? Or wanting to move to a brighter color. Here I'm not going to do that. Here I'm just going to use the ivory, which is a bright color, because I know what the process here. The goal for this model is to be used in one of our noosh tutorials for YouTube. And so I don't want a lot of mid-tone colors because the noosh is going to do that. So the whole point of this is to start out with a model that gives you some good coloring.
Yeah.
And then allow the wash and weathering to do the rest of what you don't get. So pretty good. Have you tried plaid? Maybe hot pink? I mean, we do have fluorescent pink. I could just paint the whole model fluorescent pink.
Clark Sean's got a good question here. How far can you push the change in hue for the shadow colors without it looking silly?
That really depends, right? It depends on what you're trying to accomplish, because, when you say things like silly, that's highly subjective. Mm-hmm. You can do all sorts of crazy shadow colors, You know, you can do subtle things. You can do very bright things if you're going for like OSL that would look silly until you show that there's a reason for it. You know, I like purple and blues. So like for my Blood Angels, again, Payne's Gray, so I get kind of a cool blue tone, but then I just go right over it with dark plum and red, right? So I get really good red armor out of that. But then to switch it up a little bit for the Death Company, right? I did the dark plum shadows, so now I have warmer shadows on the Death Company so that they feel like they're part of a Blood Angels army since they don't have a lot of red on them, right? So my shadows pull that plum red color into them because the black has all the cool nature on it, right? So rather than like trying to warm up black armor, I just flipped the scheme over and I started with plum and then Payne's Gray in a downward spot on there, right? So it really does just turn it around. So there's no reason why you can't do some combos that may not seem logical at first. And then you can get crazy. You can do like bright green shadows, you know, it really doesn't matter. I mean, here is a really good example of using dark blues and jades as shadow, and then working up into yellow greens, yellow, right? This is a very stylistic approach to color, but you can see how this might look silly in concept if you thought about it, but when you implement it, it's all in the way you implement it that pulls it off, right? And this gives, again, a very cool shadow and a very warm highlight. So within those kind of prescribed notions of sun, warm, you know, darkness, cold, that's kind of where that stems from. But like I showed you, you can flip that upside down too for certain colors. Or if you have particular effects like lava glow and things like that, and you want to have the warmth coming from the glow of we call it OSL, right? You can do something like that. So there's all sorts of opportunities to play around. Oh, and here's a bunch more.
Thank you for the follow, by the way. I'm going to try this name, and I hope I don't butcher it. It's O Pateiro Assassino.
I assume
Hopefully I
he's
got
an
it right.
assassin.
Yes, some form of
Whittle, I'm
Mr.
with
Assassino.
you. Jade, dark jade, bright jade, some of my favorite colors. All right, so we're going to put a little bit of ivory in the cup. I don't need a whole lot. Maybe a little bit more than that.
Also, I'm blacking out a little bit. Slovak, I don't remember if I said hello, but hi.
You're blacking out. That's not good.
It's one of those things where I've been like reading these comments while you've been talking, and I can't remember if I actually said anything about it or not.
This is
so
Baby Jay's first time producing the show.
Is it the first time?
I think so.
I think I've done it once before. Maybe not for a whole show.
Maybe. Oh, maybe.
I feel like I've been over here talking on stream a little bit. I don't think it was for a whole show, though. But yes, hello, Slovak.
Some glaze and wash medium we're going to use to do the main portion of our thinning so it keeps the paint at paint consistency. And I'm going to put about triple the amount of glaze wash that I had to color in there to start. Be a good start for me. Then I'm going to get a wet brush and just kind of mix this up.
The Punisher blocking out. You hitting that walk home tequila early? We hit that walk to work tequila. No, I'm just kidding. That I would never do that. That's even too much for me.
You know, he's got to have his walk to work tequila.
Yeah, I gotta have my walk to work tequila.
All right, that's about perfect. That's going to be the opacity I want for kind of the second go round. What I want to do is I'm going to take a second cup. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of this into the second cup.
The answer to your question, Avian, also, hello, good afternoon. Avian saying good afternoon to both of us. And is also asking why I sound different in the corner. I believe it has to do with the microphone. It's a different mic, and I'm also a lot closer to the mic. I could literally lick it. Not that I would, because that would be gross. But I could.
Lick the mic?
Yeah. I wouldn't do that.
You nasty, nasty person. Why would you ever even think of such a thing? All right, so I'm going to add a bunch of water to this one. I probably doubled the mix with water over just what was there in paint and medium. And so that gives me that versus what we started with. And this is what we're going to spray on the model first. So glaze wash medium, water. The glaze wash medium just helps keep the consistency really good. as you start to thin the paint. And then the water gets it to flow like a beast so that you can thin it way down. Because when I'm spraying a super bright color over what are essentially very dark colors, in this case jade.
You're using regular ivory, right?
Yeah, just regular ivory.
Yeah, Slovic stepped away. So to answer what the potion Jason is making is a mixture of 3 parts glaze and wash medium to 1 part dark ivory or regular ivory. And then you poured some of it into a different container, and then you thinned that down a bunch.
Yep. Bunch of water.
To have 2 levels of opacity for the mixture.
Yeah, the goal here is that I can dust the model and kind of prep the jade and the blue for the fact that I'm about to hit it with a super bright color, but not have to choose an in-between color, because ivory is really the color I want.
Yeah.
Dark ivory is a little bit too dark. If I thin it down and I put it over these dark colors, that's going to darken up, right? So you can notice how just that first blast of ivory starts brightening up the model where I want it, but doesn't get a super bright. So a little bit more of a complicated way to think of it, using the same color twice, but we do it with a brush all the time. And there's no reason why you can't do the same thing with the airbrush. Like if you see me painting, non-metallic metal, let's grab the pile of armor over here, right? So when we painted all the steel armor on here, a lot of times you'll notice with the brush I go through, like with the white blue, let's say, and I'll go through with the white blue and I'll thin it way down so that the first part that I put on the model barely gives me any color at all. But what it does is it starts lightening up just subtly that base layer that was underneath it, in this case like Payne's gray, right, for the dark steel. And so I get this kind of in-between brightness. And then I just start using less and less thinner as I go to brighten that up till I get to finally like the actual white blue and just the pinpoint. So I'm using one color, I'm getting it to act like lots of colors by thinning it and using it over that dark sublayer. So same thing, it's just that with the brush that's a lot easier because you have your paint on the palette that's opaque, and the water on your brush every time you go and load your brush up is what's going to thin the paint. In the airbrush, I can't do that. I can't get more opacity here without putting more paint in. So that's why I mixed it to the level I wanted for its opacity. Then I thin that down in a second cup for my first pass. So I'm mixing my second pass first pass second. You just kind of have to think backwards when you're airbrushing because you can't do the same adjustment that you can on the brush. So hopefully that makes sense.
Did that answer your question, Slovic?
Now, I could technically use this same very thin version of the paint and just layer it up a ton, but it's going to take forever and it's really not worth doing. So,
Paint Liquor has stated that I sat here for the October challenge, which is why I may have thought that.
I think you went over there to do the October
That's
challenge.
what it was. I painted and then I came over because I had to do it solo. So I came over here and did the October challenge over here.
That seems right, yeah.
Yeah, which is why I remember being over here for something.
You're like, I know I've been here before.
Yeah, I was like, I've been here for some period of time before. I don't think it was for a whole stream, so that was exactly what it was. Oh. Who has 2 thumbs and the new fluorescent paints?
This guy.
This guy. Wait.
Well, that
Ghost
guy.
Hunter, you have it already? Is it even possible for somebody to have it?
People had them last Wednesday.
Oh, right, because we shipped them out early to the stores.
Some people were finding them at their FLGS on Wednesday.
That's right.
We had some people posting up like, already got them. I'm like, what? Cheater.
Those cheaters. Yeah.
That's awesome, though. Yeah, because the stores, we don't enforce any kind of sale by date. They don't have to keep it in check. As soon as they get it, they can sell it to people. If they got people that are wanting it, go for it. Okay, so you can see slowly but surely I'm getting that jade to brighten up, but kind of fake, right? The ivory, this is not anywhere near the color of ivory. It's just brightening up as a filter over the jade. And what this will do is it'll help when we get the actual ivory at a little bit more of an opaque level over this. It won't just be super bright over super dark. If you've ever airbrushed and you've wanted to add your highlight on and you've been doing like a, bright yellow over burnt orange or something, you might find that sometimes it just feels too much, right? it just gives you too much contrast and you lose the blends and you don't feel like it's looking good.
So then just to confirm, you are still using the really watered down.
Really watered down. I mean, look at this. See how little color I get?
Yeah.
Versus this is what we mixed in the first cup. So when I put it through the airbrush, you'll notice the ivory. But you're seeing it still, right? It's building up brightness. It's just looking more like we're spraying with bright jade. But I am also getting the benefit of a bright tint, and that I'm desaturating the jade, which is what I'm trying to do, right? I don't want the blues and the jades to be the most visible thing on this guy. And you just have to be careful. Keep the brush moving. Don't hold it in one place too long. All the standard, I'm painting with I'm basically spraying water on the model, so I got to be very careful.
Slayer Street finally picked up some Payne's Gray. One of us. One of us. Panic Bomb Arcade ordered some stuff this morning. Nice.
Awesome. Congratulations
on your forthcoming order. Game Delay tripped on Saturday and came home with 2 boxes of Marvel United.
Fell right into that stuff.
Yep.
They should really have that removed.
Yeah, I tripped while I was at the game store, and it just ended up in my car somehow, with me having paid for it. Also somehow.
Well, when you tripped, your wallet flew out.
That's what it was. Yeah,
those smarmy store people snagged your wallet out of thin air and ran your card, or your card flew out of the wallet, right, and somehow wound up landing in the magical payment slot.
Yep. Totally not Game Delay's fault. Just tripped. Sometimes it happens when you trip. It's that damn Apple Pay. Oh my gosh, that's exactly what happened. All of it. Paint Liquor. Tripping is dangerous for one's wallet. I agree. Same thing happened to me at Funkatronic Rex. They had a pretty good Black Friday sale going. Nice.
All right, I'm feeling pretty good about that. So now we have a brighter model. We still get the benefit of the jade and the blue. It doesn't overtake. So another problem that some people have as they're highlighting is that when you airbrush, you get way too much paint into areas you didn't mean to. And so your shadows shrink back because you got a very bright color like ivory intruding. So your mid-tone can get erased completely. Your shadows shrink back, and now you have your very bright highlight and your dark shadow right next to one another. And it gives it kind of a weird contrast. It wasn't what you were going for. So starting with a little bit thinner version of the paint and building up from there allows you to get those mid-tone areas. I was actually shooting this directly onto the Payne's Gray in some areas, like down here. But I still don't lose the benefit of that blue on the Payne's Gray.
Well, and you get the gradient that goes over both colors too.
Yeah.
So you get the brightness that still
together,
shows. Yeah.
Right. It basically is like smudging all of your colors together.
Correct.
By doing this light filter over the top. So it works very well. It just, like I said, you have to kind of retrain your brain to think about doing it this way when doing it with the airbrush, because you're having to run the thinner color first and then the opaque color mixed separately, as opposed to on the palette where you can just control it brush stroke to brush stroke.
Thor's boss. My paycheck fell into the register. Totally not my fault.
I don't know what happened. They said that the local gaming store garnished my wages. This is a very interesting drink.
I actually really like those.
The tangerine strawberry.
I prefer the like blood, the cherry one, whatever.
The other one's good.
Yeah, I like that one. I haven't
like
tried.
The blood orange one. That one's good. The tangerine strawberry is weird. It's like not the thing you think of.
Wait,
when
tangerine
you're like, hey, you know
strawberry?
what I would like to taste right now? It's tangerine and wild strawberry.
I feel like I tried that one and I didn't particularly care for it.
It's a little odd. I'm not gonna lie.
I did, however, get some of the blood orange, the regular San Pellegrino that's got the sugar in it, last night. So I'm excited to have some of that tonight.
These don't have any.
No. Those are just the flavored seltzer water.
Yeah. These are the ones I like. The other ones are too much. Like they have like Jen was saying last week, they have the actual fruit juice in them. They're a little much.
Yeah.
Okay, I put a little bit of water in that to get it to flow so that I can pour it into the airbrush, basically, but not enough to change its opacity much. You'll see it's still like real paint. Like I'm turning the cup upside down, and in the time it takes me to clean my brush out, it's finally ready to drop into the airbrush. So this is like paint. Because I use the glazed wash medium as the main dilution device to reduce my opacity here.
Yeah, you reduce the opacity without reducing the
Flow.
consistency.
Yeah, the viscosity. All right, so there we go. So now we've got some of this. Now this is going. This was the thin down version. Now this is gonna be. Well, let me work through my clean out stuff. Now this is going to give me a lot more opacity straight away. Still thin, right? Because we thinned it down again, but now I get a lot more out of it with the initial spray.
PK1919. I looked at the internet and somehow ordered a bunch of Crisis Protocol and Shatterpoint minis this weekend.
Fantastic.
I don't know how that happened. Well,
Bad influences.
I know how that happened. Maybe you do not, but I certainly do.
Bad influences.
Maybe because it's happened to me before. Let's see here.
I love Yards Tony's like, I get distracted by work, I come back and I go, and I hear, and it's just that easy. It's like, then I have to go back and watch the VODs.
The Punisher, my wife and I finally decided we should combine our phone plans. Several $100s and 3 years of interest-free payments later, and we somehow have new phones and watches as well. That's how they get you. That's how they get you. They got me. Actually, I haven't been got by a phone company in a long time. I have a phone that's like 3 or 4 years old, 5 years old maybe.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I've got to clean the front of the airbrush cap off.
Oh, jeez.
It's got a lot of nonsense on it.
It's funny how I used to upgrade my phone like once or twice a year back when I actually worked for a phone company.
Oh, that's right. You worked for like Sprint or something.
I worked for T-Mobile.
T-Mobile.
Yeah, I worked for T-Mobile for 3 years. And I had 4 phones over the course of that time. And, man, let me tell you, I really have not had an interest in getting a new phone. Although I'm kind of getting to the point now. Because, especially with iPhones, as you get more and more updates through, it starts to run worse and worse and worse, and my phone's starting to get to the point.
That's what Jen says, and
Yeah.
I'm experiencing that now.
Yep.
My lovely phone is not quite as lovely as I need it to be.
Correct.
Because it's starting to show its update age.
And Phoenix
they get
Mercer.
ya.
I did not get a tan. Boise, excuse me, Idaho is not a place you go to get a tan this time of year.
Wait a minute, you didn't go to Boise Beach?
No.
Do you even vacation, bro?
What? Do you even vacation, bro? Is that what you just
Do
said
you
to
even
me?
vacation, bro?
Did you just bro me, bro?
Bro, did you just bro me, bro?
Bruh. What the
Bruh.
heck?
Bruh.
Bruh.
Bruh. Did you even Boise, bruh? I feel like I need to wash my mouth out just talking that way. All right, here we go. So now we have a lot more opacity. So here I'm just going to start hitting the bright spots, like the top of this shoulder. And now you'll notice ivory hits a lot different right in here. Now I still want to run it into my jade and my blue. But now I get white armor. Oh, and that shoulder's going to be green, so I don't even know why I'm worried about that.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yep.
Forgot what I'm painting.
You can always like glaze the green over it to keep some of that color and some of that value. So it's not the worst possible thing you could have done. Wad Tomato N, we will not be washing our mouth out with brush soap. Because brush soap is in fact not edible.
Wait, what?
Yeah, contrary to what you might think, brush soap is not edible. No, we do not make anything that you can eat. So do not eat it.
What? Seems like sitting in that producer's chair just creates the enemy of fun.
Let's see here. We got a couple questions. Slovic, are you now going to cover this with normal paints? How does this undercoating boost that? Yes. That was a question. And thank you for the follow, Eloquent.
Well, I'm making Death Guard white, right? but I want to have all these other colors because white by itself is extremely boring. So again, this would have been perfect for our challenge where it was paint white without using white.
Oh man, I just got a good job, Jordan, from Jen.
Being the enemy of fun, she is.
What?
She is. She's welcoming you to Team Enemy of Fun, telling people they can't eat the soap.
Hey, look, hey, look, when you're in this chair, you got to remind people all the time that you cannot eat the paint and that we make nothing that is edible. I'm putting on my Jen voice while I'm doing this. Just don't eat it. Okay?
Yeah, Jen is like the queen of just don't do it.
Just don't do it.
It's very simple for her.
Yeah.
To say these things.
It's not hard. You just don't do it. Did Jason just call Jen the enemy of fun?
I tell her that all the time.
Mayhaps that has happened.
You're just the enemy of fun, aren't you? It's always in jest. She knows I love her.
Phoenix. Baby J, how would you paint Ultra Bros? By Ultra Bros, do you mean Ultramarines?
It's funny because I was going to paint this guy in Ultramarines. We talked about it in a meeting we had today, and we all kind of said, I think Death Guard would be better because we're showing off noosh.
Yeah.
And so for the weathering point that we're trying to get to, it's going to be better to have it be a form of white or brighter color.
I'm glad we decided to go with the Contemptor. I think it'll be a good model.
Oh, it's a perfect model
to showcase all that stuff. And we had one available and floating around, which was the best part. And to answer your question, Phoenix Mercer, I've never really given it some thought. I would probably do if I were to just go with like a standard scheme for it without getting all, artsy fartsy with the colors, because I'd probably do some like dark plum shadows and then spray the blue over it and then do some like, I don't know, ivory or something like that, and then I would blast some transparent blue over it to get like a really, really punchy, saturated, like really blue color. If I were to do it without the like crazy like color, I would probably just use like Payne's Gray or maybe a brown. Sorry, my allergies are getting to me. Try not to sneeze right into the mic.
Little halo of color up underneath in the shadows. Not too much. Obviously, I don't want to kill that blue, but get a little bit of reflection from the ground and the rest of the body up underneath into the shadow.
But yeah, so I would probably do that, or you can swap the dark plum or something like that for like a Payne's Gray even would look good. But I like using our blue is really, really nice. And then I would bring it up with some sky blue, maybe some ivory, and then I'd hit it all with some transparent blue just to bring it all back down. I really like doing like punching the highlights really bright and bringing everything back down transparent. So I think it gives you a richness that you just can't get without.
Gesundheit. Finally, jeez.
Oh. All right. Yeah, it yeah, if I were to just do Ultra Bros, I'd probably go I would go like what would I do? I would do you want more of like a gritty, or do you just want like a basic blue? Because if you want a basic blue, I would just go like Payne's Gray, blue, sky blue, a touch of ivory, and then I would use blue transparent. You could also do something with like a dark purple instead to get a little bit more warmth into those shadows. You could also do, I mean, the shadow color is largely up to you. It depends on the kind of environment that you want to set for the scheme. But Payne's Gray will get you a really neutral blue. And then you just do the blue on top of it. Clarkatron, what about the candy apple red that I did the other day? Was there a question about it? That mix was a lot of fun. It would be fun to paint something up with that at some point for realsies. Might actually look really good for some word bearers.
Oops.
So, if I want to have like a more weathered look, Phoenix, I would use a brown in the shadows to give it a little bit more earthy, kind of basic color to work some weathering on top of. And then I would build the blue on top of it. It gives you kind of a grungy, dark shadow. Yeah. Perhaps a candy red for an orc buggy. That would be pretty funny, I'm not going to lie.
Alright.
I don't know if I'd do a buggy. They have some cooler, like, vehicles that would be really nice with that, like, candy apple red.
And there you have it. White. Using no white.
Boom.
Ivory over jade and blue. White. There you go. Science.
Science. How did my Iceman turn out? He's around. He's currently taking a vacation in Mexico right now.
Iceman?
Yeah. Hey, look, he ain't gotta be all cold all the time.
Was Iceman's name Bobby?
In Top Gun? No. In X-Men. Yes?
Bobby?
I think so. It was at least in the movie.
Bobby, Avian, yeah, Bobby.
Yeah. Bobby Drake. That sounds
Bobby Drake.
like somebody from a boy band.
Does that go all the way back to when he was like the snowman, Iceman, where he was all puffy? And threw snowballs at people? Bobby Silver Surfer Drake.
None of these things are correct, and it makes me laugh. Well, except for the whole Bobby Drake thing.
Panda says yes. Okay. Correct. Though you were not alive back then. Oh, thanks for throwing that in there. Thanks for making me feel old.
Trashorama. Was Iceman related to Frosty the Snowman?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Distant relatives, but still same.
I don't even know if they're distant relatives. I think they're much more closely related than one might think.
You did something Vince did. You primed black brown and then did what? Then stippled heavy warm white to give a splotchy zenithal, then used transparent blue over that. Oh, for ultramarines?
I mean, that's cool. I'd be down with that.
Yeah, the thing when painting blue is it kind of kills the blue and purple shadow thing that I normally do. So dark greens work really well.
Yeah.
Things like burnt sienna, believe it or not, if you're going for like a dirty kind of a thing, burnt sienna can work really well.
Browns.
Dark, like mahogany works great underneath blues.
Yep. No.
Dark purple still works, right?
Yeah, I like purple, but I'm also like a nerd, and I love purple, so I find stupid excuses to use purple on everything.
Yeah. Well, it looks good, right? Because we have the whole old methodology for how I did the Marine a day or Marine a week thing back when Dark Imperium came out, right? And the Primaris stuff hit. And so this is dark purple, right? And then just working up through sketching to blue and sky blue, and then pulling it all together with a light dusting of transparent blue over the top, right? After I've done my highlights to draw it all back down. And that works really well. and gives you a lot to play with as far as like shadows, highlights, things like that. Now I did all of these Marines a little bit shinier, you know. So I went a little bit brighter with highlights than you may want to go. But that works really well. All right, we're done with the airbrush.
You were not alive back then either, unless you are a 60s baby, Slow Fuse.
What's that?
Avian is saying that you were not alive back when the Snowman Iceman was existing.
I don't know.
Unless
I think
you were a
it
60s
extended into
baby.
the early 70s. It wasn't until the new X-Men came out, right? That he changed? I could be wrong there, but X-Men giant size X-Men #1 came out. Isn't that when he changed? I don't know. I'm not a comics like maestro, so I might be wrong.
Yeah, looks good. So what's the plan for the green?
I think I'll do the metallic stuff first.
You do the metallics first, yeah.
Yeah, so I can let all that stuff dry, and before I start like glazing and throwing tons of paint after it.
Thank you for the follow, X5 Lumbersarseni.
You had to struggle with that one.
Yeah.
It's Slumber. Slumber's arsony.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense.
I don't know what arsonly means. Slumber's arse NLY. Because I know what arse is. Welcome. Thank you for the follow.
Thank you for the follow.
All right, I'm done with the airbrush. Let's put that away. Get that tub of disaster off my desk. That's all that's going to turn into. And then, dark silver. So the fun thing is that we're going to do a video using Noosh to show you all the weathering you can do to this guy. You guys will have the cheat code for how we did all the beginning stuff, though.
Yep.
The YouTube video people won't know what hit them. They're not going to have any idea how all this white armor got done. You, on the other hand,
You guys get the inside info.
you have the secret level up.
Oh my gosh.
You sneezed, and now you got snots.
Yeah.
Welcome to Arizona. It happens.
Yeah.
Anytime you sneeze, you're going to be blowing your nose for like 18 hours.
Yep. Well, the other thing too is my allergies always get bad when I travel.
Oh, sure.
So I haven't taken any allergy medicine today. I forgot to.
That'll teach you. Take that.
It was a busy day. We had a lot going on today.
We have had a lot going on today. That's not a lie.
Yeah. So it was an easy thing to miss. I was not expecting today to be very, very crazy busy. Well, I was actually expecting today to be fairly busy because it's a first day back after 5 days gone. 5 days? That's not right.
4.5.
4 days.
And not really. Only 2.5 work days.
Yeah. 2.5 work days. But Mondays are always typically busier because of the weekend anyways. So
Oh, yeah.
you get that added on to 2 days of not being
Mondays
here.
are Mondays. Paint Liquor, you are special. Ish.
Yeah, you guys are special. Not even ish. You guys are definitely super special. Like the most specialist.
I feel like he may not be using special the same way you are, chat.
I use it in all of the possible ways that we would want to refer to you as a special group of people.
Yes, Avian's got it. Avian's like special or special. Yes.
Yes.
Is what he just said.
That is exactly what I just said.
Baby J just said yes.
A little bit of column A and a lot of bit of column B.
What he means is that you are very special to us.
Yes. Game delay. I think Baby J is a sincere and kind person. I take his special as a compliment. Thank you, Game delay. It was meant as one.
Remember, game delay is an attorney.
5 to 95 by the sounds of it. Oh man, I spent the better part of this weekend watching a funny lawyer show with my stepdad.
What was it called?
It's Suits.
Suits.
Yeah.
Is it funny?
I mean, yeah.
Like, it's not supposed to be comedy. It's just like...
It's not a comedy show, but it is a
slice
funny...
of life because it does funny things, right?
Yeah, yeah. The characters are funny because of who the characters are.
Like, more due to personality than...
It's a drama that's...
Scripted as a comedy, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen outtakes from it and stuff, and it seems like it's trying to be serious, but has some funny events and things.
Yeah, my stepdad, Phil, not to be confused with new guy Phil.
This is Stepdad Phil.
Stepdad Phil, who is a wonderful human being.
Okay, now wait a minute. Are we just supposed to take you on your word for
Yep.
that?
Yep. Not even a question.
I think we need an interview. Somebody call Phil up.
Well, hey, they're going to be down here sometime in March
All
or
right,
something.
we're going to put him through his paces.
I think we're going to try and catch a whatchamacallit, a game
Somebody make notes, chat.
during
When
spring training.
Stepdad Phil is around, we need to grill him. Okay, Baby J said you're a great guy. Prove it.
But yeah,
That's the whole way the thing's going to go.
he not only was he a lawyer, he was a judge. It's actually really funny. So my mom and Phil both live in now it's not really a retirement community, but it's a community that's designed for people who are like 55 and above.
Like over 55, yeah.
Yeah.
You live in Arizona now, those are commonplace.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's like a whole community, right? So everybody's super tight knit, and
Sure.
they're all friends, and they hang out, and they do silly things all the time.
Ride
And-
go-karts together.
And the group has taken to calling Phil Judge,
Okay.
which I think is hilarious. And he has one of their neighbors was a captain in the Air Force, or is it Navy? Which one is? It's. I believe it's Navy is captain. There's one where it's captain, and the other one is something else. But anyways, so they call each other by those names, and it's really funny. But anyways, it was really funny watching this show with Phil, where he's like, and all there was like that phrase where they're like, you were kind enough to show yourself in, now you can show yourself out, sort of thing.
Sure.
He's like, I have unironically heard that at least 3 times during my career of some lawyers saying that to me. And I laughed. It was great. Trashorama, it's actually really funny that you bring that up because they were talking to me about some funny things about that. Not that they do that. They don't. But it's ironic that you bring it up, and it came up in conversation over the weekend.
Pineapples on windowsills?
Yeah. I believe it's upside down pineapples is the thing.
God.
It was something related to pineapples. That's for sure.
What is the world coming to?
What is the world coming to? The answer is I have no idea. And it keeps on getting weirder and weirder as the day goes by. Yeah, watching Suits, nobody has those books on their shelves. They're all collections of decisions, and no lawyer keeps them in their offices. It's all digital. You have to admit, though, Game Delay, it's got a pretty cool look.
What, your legal library?
Yeah.
I have to admit, I still have been into, within the last decade, at least, since the internet revolution, specifically, and everything cloud-based and digital, that I still have gone into attorneys' offices with attorney libraries,
Yeah.
case libraries and all that stuff, books on the shelves and all
Yeah.
that.
I mean, I wouldn't be
don't think
surprised.
they use them anymore because you're right.
There's
They
probably
do,
some
but they
old
still
school
look
people
good.
that do.
I think it's like part of it's what you're supposed to have.
Yeah.
I wonder, like, I've never done it, but I wonder if you walked up and, like, pulled one, would it open the door to their pineapple sex dungeon?
Oh my gosh.
50 Shades of Pineapple in the
50
attorney's
Shades
office?
of Pineapple.
Like, are any of those books
Thank you for the
real?
follow, Sarika. Heika. Older law offices probably still have a set of books since they probably paid a lot of money for them and they look great.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you don't get rid of them.
Yeah, between the visual and the fact that, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if there were a lot of like older attorneys that just like going through the books instead of figuring it out on the computer. I wouldn't be surprised. That sounds like something that I would do if I like grew up looking through books. And
Don't let him lie to you, Chad. He does that now. I'm like, Google it, and he goes and gets an Encyclopedia Britannica.
I mean, hey, I'm old school like that sometimes. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Okay, it's fine.
It's my job to worry about it. Jordan, there's this new thing called a computer.
What's a computer?
It's that box that we bought for you with the TV attached to it. You can type on the little keyboard thingy.
Yeah, I haven't figured out how to turn it on yet.
Damn it.
What is this thing with moving pictures?
See, chat? See what we have to deal with?
Did you call Baby J a hipster? I am not a hipster.
He is definitely not a hipster. The one Gabe.
Gabe,
is the hipster.
definitely a hipster. Not the
even shy
most
about
hipster
admitting
person I've ever met. Definitely a hipster.
Like, Gabe is of the age where it's okay to consider yourself a hipster. He's like, yeah. It's in, like, his name on Discord. Hipster Gumby.
He is, in fact, the hipster Gumby. Hi, hipster Gumby.
See?
See, he's paying attention. He's lurking in the background.
No matter how hard we try, he'll never be Monument Gabe.
Monument
Jabe. Hipster Gumby.
I mean, he might end up being Monument Hipster Gumby at some point.
He wears salmon-colored shorts all the time.
Hey, you know what? There's some classiness to some salmon color shorts. You gotta be that kind of person to pull that off. I am not that kind of person. By the way, thank you.
I was buying some new shorts
for
the
the
other
follow,
day.
Ruben.
I was buying some new shorts the other day because, you know, it's winter and they're cheap.
Yeah.
And the dog tore my shorts
The new ones?
over the weekend.
The
No,
new
no,
ones?
no, no, no. My old ones, which
Oh,
is what
okay.
led me to needing new shorts.
Ah, got it.
And one of the prevalent colors is Gabe red. I call it Gabe red now.
Gabe
Because
red?
Gabe swears his shorts are red, but that ain't red.
No, those are more salmon than red.
Yeah. But I call it Gabe red.
I mean, they're definitely like a faded.
And
Faded
Gabe
red.
red was one of the colors that was sold out.
Yeah, not surprising in the least.
So I am definitely outgunned in this arena of hipster thought.
Look, Gabe may be the hipster, but that doesn't mean that he isn't, you know, being a fashionable gentleman. In such ways that can be had. Slayer Street sounds like a new paint color name. We have a color for that.
Hipster red, and it's actually not anything near red. That's
Yeah,
what we
it'd be
should do
funny.
as a joke. We're coming out with a new Monument Hobbies hipster color range.
Yep.
Everything's named completely incorrectly.
Funny you say that, Avian.
We'll have a color called pizza, not flatbread.
Yep. Gabe Red sounds fishy. That's a good one. That's actually a really good one, Avian. But now, Baby J, when Slow Fuse sets up the joke, you gotta tumble it down. Oh my goodness. You know what else is really weird for me that I did over this weekend? I watched 3 football games on Sunday.
What?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Okay, but did you watch any on Thanksgiving Day?
No.
Okay.
No.
Is your stepdad a big football guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we were watching college football.
Okay.
He's more into college football. He's from Michigan,
Okay, yeah, sure.
and they were playing
Is
against
he a
Ohio.
Stater or is he University of Michigan?
University of Michigan.
Uh-oh. A Wolverine.
Yep. And he was watching the Michigan Ohio State match, which is actually a great game, to be honest. The following game, which was the Apple Cup, or the Apple Cup, which is Washington State, Wazoo versus the Huskies. That was a terrible game. My goodness, was that a terrible game to watch.
Well, now you say it was a terrible game, but it wasn't for the kicker who got his scholarship by hitting that game-winning goal.
Fair.
You're just mad they beat your team?
Well, I don't have a particularly strong opinion on either way. My mom is a Huskies fan, so
So the Huskies got beat.
They won.
They won?
They won.
Okay.
They did not deserve to win.
Okay.
Yeah.
Their kicker won it for him at the very end.
Yeah.
He's the guy that got the scholarship. I was just seeing it in the news. I don't follow this stuff at all.
I mean, it didn't seem like a scholarship-worthy kick, to be honest. It was like a 25-yard kick. That's not that crazy.
It was like 38 yards.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Well, I mean, that's what they're reporting.
Oh, okay.
Which means he was probably at the 25-yard line.
Oh, right. Because there's another,
He sets back, and then
correct.
the goal,
Yeah.
and then the end zone.
Yep.
So it's longer than...
They were at the 25 when they made the kick.
So.
But, yeah. So, going into that game, Wazoo was 5-6 for the season.
Oof.
And the Huskies were 11-0.
Well, that's pretty brutal.
And they were getting beat up on by Wazoo the whole game, basically.
Do you think it's because they didn't take it seriously because it was such an easy win for them? Or do you think that the other team was just so out to prove something?
It's weird, right? Because that's like a rivalry game, so you would assume that they are all bringing their A game, right? Because they don't want to lose.
Well, we got one team that's undefeated, and another
so
team
maybe it got to their heads.
Yeah, another team that's hungry.
Yeah, it was
thing.
tough to watch. It was tough to watch, and just because like you would expect a team that's 11-0 to play at a particular level, right?
Like it feels like professional versus high school,
right?
At some point, right?
Yeah, and then you watch the game and you're like, these guys are just, what are they doing? And it was just one of those sort of situations. I was just like, what is happening here?
I love the games where you're like, dude, put me in, coach. I can do better than this.
Yeah. Well, the crazy thing, I don't know if you knew this about Michigan, but Michigan's coach has been out for half of the season. He got benched for the first 3 games of the season and the last 3 games of the season. So the last 3 games that they played, their second their assistant coach or whatever the next step down is.
Why did he get like a league decision? Like he did something untoward?
Apparently he talked to somebody prior to
recruiting issues.
Yeah, there was a recruiting thing where he talked to a recruit prior to the beginning of recruiting. And he voluntarily benched himself for 3 games.
Oh, okay.
And then the last one, there was something about stealing signs from other teams or something stupid.
Stealing signs.
Yeah, and he was like, "Hey, look,
God,
just don't bother with the investigation. Just I'll bench myself for another 3 games."
Good God, dude.
And they're 12-0, so you know what? It worked okay.
Stealing signs, man. Be careful out there, kids. It's a dangerous world. You could have your signs stolen.
It was so funny to hear. I was just like, what the heck? Spitfire Miniatures, we do plan on making a satin black. That is on the docket.
It's more than on the docket. It's done.
Thanksgiving weekend is college rivalry weekend. I did not know that, actually.
Just not for sale yet.
If you aren't trying to steal signs, you ain't playing sports. Every single team does it.
I didn't, I don't keep up with real-time sports news, but I see, like posts when they gain enough traction, they'll show up on my feed someplace. And I saw one where somebody was saying, like some sportscaster was like, like literally stealing signs is part of the game. You know?
Yeah, I hadn't even
like
heard
it
of
is
that
part
before.
of the strategy of coaching is to learn your opponent's calls by stealing their signs so that you can adjust real time in the game. That's part of the game. Always has been, always will be.
I didn't
and
even
now
know
they're
that.
like, you can't do that.
Oh, I literally thought that they were taking like actual like just signs for the team from somewhere.
No.
That makes much more sense.
No, stealing signs at the game is the signs that are being called from the sidelines to the field to run the plays.
Oh, interesting.
And if you have people whose dedicated job is to watch cameras and things like that. Now, I do agree that you should not be allowed to have somebody up in a booth watching footage, right? They need to be on the field and doing it. But if you've got an assistant coach whose job it is to sit there and watch the other team's calls and discern, like, because, you know, that's like playing chess, right?
Yeah.
Whenever they do this, they run this package in their defense, then you make a note of it, and then you counter call it when you see them do that.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
What's wrong with
frankly?
that? The whole world has lost its mind, dude.
That's really funny though. I literally thought that they were just like stealing signs from somewhere.
Yeah, the defense sign was mighty tempting. They were like running up in the stands and stealing the crowd's signs.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, what? That's why I thought it was so ridiculous, because I was like, what is happening here?
Like somebody had a yard sign that was like, you know, garage sale.
Basically, that accusation comes out when teams get jealous because they're doing well.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. You try to slay the mighty in the court of public opinion because you can't do it on the field. Now, that's not to say that there aren't teams that haven't done things untoward to get to be mighty. You know? Paying their players back in the day. I remember, being from Dallas, Texas, SMU got destroyed. They don't do that anymore, I don't think. SMU was knocked down a division, and I didn't ever play again. They were a contending team in the big college leagues. It was the Southwest Conference. And in the Southwest Conference, I don't know that they were ever a tremendous team. They did well some seasons.
Mm-hmm.
But they were playing with the likes of Texas and OU and everybody else. And then they got killed. Like, their whole program got killed. Shut down. The NCAA shut down their football program for, years.
Wow.
Because they were paying players and...
Yeah, that's crazy. It's funny. It's really...
They chose violence that day, the NAACP, the NCAA.
It surprised me a lot because I've never really been a huge sports person.
Sure.
But I feel like in the last, I don't know, year, I've been a lot more interested in it. So it was funny, like, having that experience this weekend and, like, really enjoying it. And it was cool because it was a Sunday. It was like we were just kind of relaxing, just hanging out.
Sure.
And, I was like, oh, so this is what the whole Sunday football games.
This is what this feels like.
Yeah, this is what this is about. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. I could get behind this.
So I grew up with it. Thanksgiving was always Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
So being in Dallas, you'd go to Thanksgiving and the Cowboys game would be on and all the adults would be in there. All the men would be in there. It was very stereotypical. All the men would be in watching the football game, bitching and complaining or hooting and hollering.
Yep.
And the women would all be grouped around in the other room with the kids or, talking about events of the family and things like that. It was very stereotypical Southern family. And so for me, football became kind of boring because I grew up with that being what happened.
Mm-hmm. So
I was never a big football fan. It's not that I didn't like football. I had friends that did, and but it became more of a social thing than I have to do it thing. If I had friends that were like, hey, we're going to the bar to watch it or to a buddy's house to watch the game, then it was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll tag along.
Yeah, I feel like
I was never like, oh my God, it's Sunday. What are we doing for the football game?
Yeah.
Hockey, on the other hand, hockey was my vice. And so I did the exact same thing the football guys did, but I did it with hockey. We'd be like, all right, who's coming over? Who's bringing what?
Yeah. See, that sounds like fun to me. I would prefer to do that where I get together with a bunch of people at somebody's house and we just like bring snacks, bring like dip or whatever, and just like hang out and watch the game. I'm less excited about like going to a bar for it.
Well,
But
yeah, I mean,
it makes me less excited about
well,
it.
same for me nowadays because I don't drink. But
Right. I also don't drink. Where is it? Fugger 40 ordered my fluorescents and noosh. Can't wait to try them. That is
Awesome.
awesome. We're
thank
getting
you,
a couple of
thank you.
hockey for the wins.
We are prepping this model for the next Noosh video, which will be
We
a overview look at some of the different techniques you can do. We're going to use Noosh as a complete filter on the model.
Yep.
I'll do a black filter to get some shading on him, and then we'll go in and dial it in with some rusty browns and things like that to give it the 30K Death Guard look.
Yep.
So it'll be a lot of fun. That's what this guy is for.
Brain Zap. A machine of peace and democracy. I like it. I do too. And also, hello and welcome.
This guy's a machine of peace and democracy?
I believe so.
I feel like that's a good spin doctoring way to put it.
Oh, Bill Robertson, 42, going to a bar, not really, but going to get wings and watching a game? That's somehow different? Don't ask me to explain. I actually get that. I've never done it, and I get that.
That's the thing. Like, you go to a sports bar and you hang out and you do
Yeah.
that stuff. But sometimes it's like you don't want to do the food at your house, or you don't have a house to do the food at, because you live in an apartment that's too small to invite all your friends over to or whatever. And so I've been there. And so it's like, all right, let's go down to, in Phoenix we have Zips. It's a horrible place, but they do have the game on all the time. But
Yeah.
like cold beer and cheeseburgers. You can go to cold beer and cheeseburgers, and you can sit around and do apps and burgers and watch the game.
Is that the place that we went to?
That's the place we went to.
Yeah, I really like that place.
Yeah, so you can go and do stuff
cool.
like that, and it doesn't have to be like go to the bar.
Well, yeah, because it's like, that place feels like a bar that's not, like, it feels like what I would expect a real sports bar to be, where it's not just all drinking.
Well, yeah, it's a sports bar.
Yeah. Scion Barzod says, looks so sick. As a compliment to
Well, thank you.
your
We're
Dreadnought.
just making slow progress getting all the base coats and stuff. We spent the beginning of the stream showing you how to get this kind of, I don't know, bilious white. Bilious? I don't know if that's the right name, but, a white that is giving off more color. And by the time we're done with it, will look really, really good as a dirty, grimy vision of the Death Guard colors from this era. As opposed to starting out with white, and then you have to put so much color on it to tone it down and get it to be grimy that sometimes you can make it look like it was dipped in mud.
Necronometron painting. What
Great
does
name.
noosh mean? You guys are normally pretty good at for naming your products in a very literal way, and this seems like a noticeable departure.
So, and you're correct.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality is that we looked at it and we said, well, what the hell do you call a product that is brand new, that nobody makes? So we don't have, it's not like calling something green. There's no name for it. And we're like, well, it's a new way to wash. And so it was just like, well,
New wash.
noosh, and let's look for trademarks and see if anybody has anything like that. And there wasn't. And so we were like, all right, it's now noosh.
Yep.
Plus, somebody pointed out that when you say just noosh it, spacing is imperative, and it's very funny as kind of a, tee-hee first-time cursing joke. So it's kind of funny.
Yep. No.
But yeah, it's just a fun word. We were like, well, if there's nothing that we can call it, right? Because we didn't want to call it a wash. We already have a glaze and wash medium. This is not a wash medium in the traditional sense that hobbyists think of.
And weathering medium doesn't explain what it does.
Yeah, weathering medium, it makes it sound like it would be a dry pigment or a dry pigment fixative, because, again, we have to think about how language is used in the world of, influencers doing YouTube videos and things like that. And so what we didn't want to do, since we have a totally new product, and we believe it's fairly revolutionary in its ability to provide for the hobby, we didn't want to mislead people. So we gave it a name that means nothing. And that is, it's like calling something Nike,
Yeah.
Not that noosh is Nike, but it's like you have to dig further to figure it out. And that's where it's up to us to, provide you with videos and all the content that will show you what noosh is. Because you got to see what noosh is, not
It's also fun to say.
find it in the name.
Noosh is just kind of a silly name, which is great.
but it is just a new type of wash in the acrylic spectrum here.
Necronometron. Well, I can't wait to noosh things.
Just noosh it.
Just noosh it. I like it.
It is a super, super fun product to use.
It's literally one of my favorite products that we make. I've been using it a ton.
It is such an easy way to get really, really cool weathering results on models super quick.
Mm-hmm. But you can also use it in a much more controlled fashion. For those of you who were here watching me work on my Black Templar, you saw all the little bits of kind of dust and kind of rust type effects that I put onto that model with really, really specific applications of noosh. So you can use it that way. You can use it in the really, really quick manner, like we were talking about.
Like we did the mechs in, and
yeah,
what we showed real fast on the intro video for it is that you can just slap it on, wipe it off, get some very fast weathering. We had some people call us out because they were like, you didn't really paint the model and blah, 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 blah. Well, that wasn't what we were trying to show. We were trying to show that it's super simple and that you don't have to use any kind of toxic nonsense, since it is a complete water-based product. No more solvents, no more mess. Even though it does take a long time to dry, it's not like anything
no,
like oils waiting days.
Yeah, you won't have to worry about that at all.
Or doing all the work to make sure you don't have to wait days, like leaching all of the actual oil out of the paint, things like that. So we just wanted to make sure we gave it a really, really good
crafting. New shit from Orbit.
New shit from Orbit. I like that. My silver.
Jim Tack, really love all the products. Fanboy confirms. Thank you very much.
That means the world.
We appreciate your support.
At the end of the day, we're just hobbyists. We just like painting the little mans. And so when people like what we do, that means the world. Every time somebody takes time out of their day to stop by on our page or here on the stream or whatever and say, hey, I just want to let you know, got some of your paints, tried them, love them, show us pictures of the models they painted, all that, that's just invaluable.
Yeah. And Bill
It
Robertson.
sounds sappy, but it keeps us going.
Streak and grime is good, but I don't really care to use it. Hard to control staining level and the smell is not appealing. I mean, that's one of the really nice things about noosh, right? Is it completely replaces your need for that sort of product, but also gives you a lot of other ways to apply it. And it's really easy to modulate what your staining level is like. The less pigment you mix into the medium, the less staining you're going to have. But also, you can use a gloss varnish on top of your miniature first, and then use it, and you'll get even less staining.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different ways that you can modulate how much staining you get on that, which is awesome. And you don't need any solvents, which is great. Makes it way easier to use. You don't have to have a bunch of extra stuff to get it to work. Just take like a damp Q-tip or a makeup sponge or some others, lightly non-abrasive absorbent pad or some kind, and just wipe all the excess off. Works great.
And just in case we have any scientifically inclined people in the chat, technically it is still solvent based. It's just water is the solvent.
Yes.
Had somebody on.
Yes.
Had somebody, well, technically, actually.
well, actually, technically,
water is the solvent.
The
but
solvent. Yeah.
When we're talking about it, we're talking in terms of no toxic solvents.
Yes.
Turpentines, mineral spirits, things like that. You don't have to jack around with anything funky to.
And it won't smell bad, which is great. It smells like nothing.
Yeah, it smells like acrylic paint.
Yeah, which has no smell. Don't eat it. It's not edible. I can't believe I have to say this again. It's not edible. We don't make anything edible. Do not eat it. I'm looking at you, all of you people. Broken Chef 42, thank you for the sub. Hello. 3 months. Welcome back. Trollblitz 40K waiting on the email saying Noosh and other part of order is shipping out. Awesome. Hopefully that can get out to you here soon.
Crew's working very hard at it. We got absolutely butchered during the holidays, so give us a little moment. If you've ordered from us before, you're used to us being faster than Amazon in most cases. Anytime we get big holiday seasonal sales and things like that, new product releases, we ask for a little bit of patience because the crew we reach our threshold of pain on events like this, and so it might take an extra couple of days. But don't worry, you can always reach out to customer service should you feel like you've got an order that you're worried about shipping time on or something like that.
Trollblitz, if paint is tasty for you, then I am awfully concerned, and you should stop doing that. And you're most welcome for the Paint Liquor 9000, Bill Robertson. ZF Bunny, wait, so you're saying that the burnt red isn't smoky Cholula? No.
So we have never once said that in our entire lives?
Well, except for when I literally just said it. But
oh. They're going to clip that and use it against us. A little bit of AI editing all of a sudden.
Don't
burnt
do
red
it,
tastes
chat.
like smoky Cholula.
Don't do it. You can resist the temptation.
Hi,
I know
I'm Baby
you
J,
can.
And I'm here to tell you, Pro Acryl paints are all edible.
Game delay. No smell. Now I understand why putting Pro Acryl in my essential oil diffuser didn't make my room smell like Christmas. Broken Chef, everyone at my LGS in Idaho are eagerly waiting on news and fluorescent, but we are happy to wait. Shouldn't be long, hopefully. If your LGS has already put in an order.
Yeah, it just determines on when they got their invoicing done and all that stuff. We had all of the invoicing sent out with plenty of time to hit everybody, but some stores with the holiday were a little later on their orders than others, but they'll get it soon.
I'm excited for it to get in everybody's hands. I love it a bunch, and I'm excited for everybody to be able to have the enjoyment that I have had out of it.
Yeah, it's funny, as a paint company, we release new colors, and we're always excited about the new colors. We're always excited to see people's reaction to the new colors. When you release something that's a new product, you get excited for a totally different reason. You get excited to see people use it, but for the aha part of it, right? The transparents were very similar. When we were like, we really can't wait for people to get their hands on the transparent set and start playing with it, because you guys and gals will create as much as, if not more, than we could ever create here in the studio in our concepting. We've already had people in the comments on the Noosh ads and the Noosh announcement be like, okay, wait, so this is basically a better drying retarder for acrylics, so I should be able to use it for, and they'll just start rattling off cool stuff. And I've been like, you most certainly can. We would be excited to see you try that.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of stuff that we get excited about. Because painting, at the end of the day, right, any form of creative art is really just about exploration. It's about, I have this idea, how can I achieve it? And if we can help you get some tools that help you achieve things that maybe you had an idea for, but you were like, I just don't know how to do that, or, oh my God, that's going to be really messy, I don't want to do that. That's where we get our kicks, man.
Got about 20 minutes left, by the way.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Yep.
It's like 2:30.
It's actually 3:40.
Oh man.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I don't think you know how to tell time. I'm gonna
Slayer
ask
Street
for a second opinion. Chat, what time is it?
Slayer Street is asking if we have demoed the transparents in a video that you can check out. You're curious about them. We have not done a formal video about them, although that is something that I have on my to-do list. It's something I'm very passionate about, as I really like the transparents, and I have used them extensively. So
but they have been in tons of our videos.
They have been in lots of our videos. We also have a stream I'd have to go back and look at what particular day and month it was. I want to say it was back in July.
Is that the Lord Croak one?
The Croak one, yeah. There's two videos, technically three, because I painted it over the course of 3 streams. But the first stream was me starting the model from a zenithal highlight using the using the transparents as kind of like a pseudo contrast equivalent to get a really, really quick paint job on Croak that looks great. And it's something that I will probably be doing again here in a more formalized video so that we can have something that I can link to people when they ask questions like this. And something that's a little bit more condensed because I don't want to have people watch, 5 hours worth of video content or even 2 hours of video content for you guys to kind of get the gist of all of it. But
then they get to spend more time with you.
Thank you, Hipster Gumby. It is May 23rd, and he even linked it. What a nice guy. And thank you, Streamlabs, for notifying us of the follow of 1996. Oh my gosh. Badenbog. Dan of yep. Badenbog. We're gonna go with that. We're gonna go with that one. Gotcha.
Vadim Bogdanov.
Yep.
Thank you for the follow. Is it Vadim Bogdanov? Jordan get hit with some doozies today.
I know. It's true. I'm getting hit with some doozies. Usually I'm pretty good at it nowadays, but man, these ones are tough.
Twitch is unrelenting, man.
It is. They don't mess around with you. Once they get it in their mind to swing for the hills, you really get hit with it.
I hope everybody is doing well. We are prepping a model for a upcoming YouTube video. We just released our new fluorescence and our Noosh subtractive weathering medium, and this model will be used in the upcoming Noosh video. Indeed. Which will go over the basics of Noosh, as well as doing various techniques with the medium on a single model to show you all the things that we can do, and do some exploratory research, showing you how to take this new product and kind of flipping acrylics on its head, right? We've gotten so many messages and comments from people saying, if this is real, this is amazing. And I'm like, well, it's real. We've been using it. We've tested the crap out of it and love it. And for what we do in miniature, I think it really is a revolutionary usage of acrylics. And that's a bold statement. But you'll be able to judge for yourself. You can, as soon as it shows up in your mailbox. But we want to have content ready for people so that as you get it, you're not just left out in the cold wondering what the heck to do.
Kyra Asylum, hello, good afternoon. Let's see here. If I already have a plan for the Noosh, I am excited to see if it works. It just has to get here. Awesome. I'm curious to know what your plan is.
Is it secret? Or can you share with the class?
Yeah, can you share with class? Also, Thorspaws, don't hate the messenger. Any thoughts on a 24-hour stream for New Year's?
Ha! Oh, boy.
That's a doozy.
How much money you got?
How much money you got? I mean...
That's a lot for an old man to stay up.
I mean... I'm not necessarily opposed, potentially.
We have done streams in the past where we've stayed up till, New Year's
Yeah, that'd be
across
fun.
a lot of time zones. 24 hours is pushing it.
Yeah. I don't know if 24 hours would make sense.
I don't know if people understand how old I am.
What are you talking about? You're like 25 or something, right?
Spring chicken over here.
Yes, spring chicken.
But
Early
we could think about a special New Year's stream. It depends on what Jen and I are doing for New Year's.
Yeah.
We don't usually have New Year's plans, but that could be different this year.
I don't think I'm going to be in Seattle that whole time. I feel like I definitely would want to be back.
I have done a lot of New Year's streams, both painting and video gaming, and they will take it out of you. They can be an absolute blast. So if we can, we'll see what we can plan up.
Avian Thulium. So it's time and a half plus what for you, Baby J? It's not, actually.
Time and a half for me is cheap because that would be still 0. Turns out multiplying by 0, still 0.
Kyre Asylum. Just started Soul Blight Grave Lords. Nice. And for the armor, I'm wanting to do metallic white with dried blood between the plates. So the dried blood is where the noosh comes in. That sounds cool. Yeah, it'd be really interesting to do like the dark crimson with noosh and use it as a blood effect, but use it as like the heavy wash and wipe it all away. That'd be kind of neat.
Yeah, I had some people asking, obviously with fluorescence and noosh coming out at the same time, they're like, so can you use them together? And I was like, well, there's no reason why you can't, but
yeah,
that might be a little funky. But hey, it's art. Give it a shot.
I mean, it would probably work pretty good if you were doing like plasma coils or something.
Yeah, I'd have to understand what you were doing. Like maybe like that big piece of terrain that was like a plasma generator.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
If it's something else though, I kind of tend to think, well, that might be a bit much.
It also might be better if you used an opaque paint for that over the fluorescence. And you might get a better result. Anyways, it's one of those things where it's like, yes, you can do this, and yes, it would work well, but is there just a better result that you
my
could
brain
get
just
doing it
doesn't
differently?
work in a realm where it's like, why would you want that dark or that bright of recesses? But I can then see it, on things like Human Torch.
Yeah.
Might be a really good reason to use like fluorescent orange or yellow and noosh it, and then build up around all the flamey body parts off of that base. Maybe. It just has to be, I have to get into very, very specific use cases for that. But it doesn't mean they don't exist. And it doesn't mean that you don't have a vision that far supersedes my own capability to understand what the hell you're thinking.
You know what would be really fun to do for a holiday stream like that, Jason?
What's that?
Just have people rotate in and out. Like have a bunch of people from here as guests on the stream for like a couple of hours.
Yeah, but I'm not going to ask anybody to be here on the holiday.
No. But if they want to come in. It's an option.
I always hate that because I feel like as a boss, if you say, hey,
That's true.
You don't have to, but if you like to, and then as soon as some person says, I'll do it, I feel like it puts an unnecessary pressure on other people because they feel like, oh, but I look like I didn't participate. I always hate that kind of pressure.
Yeah.
I've worked in places where that was the case, and I just always hate that.
I definitely understand what you're talking about. And I know that you don't mean it in that light, which is why I try and say, hey, we should still do it because I know you don't mean it that way.
Yeah, and I think everybody that's here has probably been here long enough to know that they can choose to do whatever the hell they want to if we have an opportunity.
Except
like
for that new guy.
I'm just always, I err on the side of caution with things like that. It's not important enough to me to have people here on the holiday.
That's true. That is true. Make the new guy bring food.
What's that?
Phil's not going to bring food. We do have another new guy, but it's not Phil.
New guy William.
New guy William. New guy William.
We are growing daily, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
And still not really keeping up.
Gilliam. Oh, there we go. Thor's Paws has given William his new name, Gilliam.
All right, who's going to break it to him?
I'll tell him. He has been bequeathed a new name.
Do you know William, obviously, from the shop?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had played Digimon against him once or twice.
Yeah, I've hung out with William before. Good old Will. It was definitely odd seeing him here.
Yeah.
It was funny seeing Jen walk him around this morning. But it wasn't any weirder than seeing Paul here for the first time.
So these most of these people are people that Jordan plays cards with at the local shop, which is like right down the street.
It's true.
And that's how they all met. And Jacob started it. Jacob,
yes, chair guy,
worked here. Chair guy, he worked here. He plays cards.
Worked here. He still works here.
He still works here. Sorry, he worked here first, is what my brain was saying to me.
There we go.
And he came in. He played the cards. He got me into Digimon. I started going to that shop and playing cards. And then when Jordan showed up, Jordan immediately jumped on that bandwagon.
Yeah.
So I had already played against Paul and William and these other people that now work for us.
Which is really funny.
As just Jacob's boss.
Yep.
Like I was legit just Jacob's boss. And now I'm like everybody that plays there's boss almost.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Monument
there.
Hobbies people that play at Samurai Comics now. Which is great.
Does it catch you off guard sometimes, Baby J? Like, what are you doing here, William? No, actually, weirdly enough. I mean, to be fair, like I said earlier, it's been kind of a crazy day, so I have had basically no time to interact with basically any of the other employees here except for Gabe and Jason today. But yes, I think that's how I feel when I see my mom. That's different though, because it's your mom. I also knew that William was going to be here, so it was less of a kind of a surprise.
Yeah, Gabe's mom works here.
Also,
Gabe's sister works here.
Gabe, your mom is awesome.
She was sitting out in the grass in the courtyard today on the phone.
Oh no.
What?
Thor's Paws says, has Jabe been nicer to his mom? Oh no.
I don't know. Jabe, have you been nicer to your mom? Were you nice to her over the holidays, or were you mean again?
Yeah, Jabe. Oh no. Hipster Gumby. Sounds like we need some chairs outside. Oh,
here we go.
Yep.
I see. So you got your mom in on this ploy now too, huh? So Jabe, Hipster Gumby there, is trying to get us to spring for some chairs and a sitting area outside now that it's actually somewhat livable out in the hinterlands of Arizona. I see how this works.
Somebody just joined hearing your mom is awesome. Hey, you know what? That wasn't a your mom joke. His mom is genuinely great.
She works here.
She does work here.
His whole family works here pretty much.
That's pretty much true.
Jabe's sister. Jabe, obviously. All who we blame on New Guy Phil, by the way.
Jabe's sister, also Jabe's sister-in-law. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
No.
Is that how that works? Yeah, sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jabe's sister, sister-in-law, mother.
Yeah.
All work here.
Yep.
Best friend. All these people work here.
Yep. So many.
We felt like they were taking over the place, so we kicked out one of his friends. Christopher moved out today.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what he was doing here.
Yeah. Yeah, he got himself a new house, and his new house has got workspace.
Oh, he's got a workspace in his
His
house.
old condo
Okay.
didn't have enough space to comfortably set up an office for him.
I'm gonna miss that guy. I'm not gonna see him as often. That makes me very sad. I will have to go out of my way to visit with him more now.
Well, he was never really coming here and working anymore.
Oh, really?
Over the past few months, no, he hadn't been. He has been coming by just in the course of his day because we've been doing video shoots and stuff. But and he'll still come by. He says we'll see if he.
Well, I'm assuming he'll come by.
We'll see if
for,
Christmas Sushi actually honors.
He'll
us
come
with
by
his
for
presence.
game nights. I'm sure he'll come down for game nights.
Is that enough metal? That's enough
Yeah,
metal.
yeah, it looks fine.
He doesn't even have like a crest on his chest, so I'm not even going to worry about any of that. And I'm not going to do the rivets until after we do the noosh.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
some quick dry brush in 4 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, you got 3 minutes, actually. T-minus 3 minutes.
Oh, damn it. It did. It changed. Arr.
Yeah. I looked down right after you said that, and I was like,
about? I
wait a
have all
second.
this time I don't really have. Oh, shucks.
oh, shut up.
Uh,
Also, Jen has confirmed for us that it is, in fact, sister-in-law. Thank you, Jen.
it is what?
It is, in fact, sister-in-law is the correct terminology for Maddie 1.
I knew that.
Not to be confused with Maddie
I
2,
don't know why you didn't know that.
who is also an employee that works here.
Yeah. Oh, boy, it's a confusing office place.
It is a pretty confusing office place. We love it, though. It's great. What are you looking for?
Silver,
It's on the left tray.
left tray.
Should be 5th row up. Yeah.
What's that? That's metallic medium.
Should be 1 row down. Yeah, there you go. Remember, it's in numerical order.
I don't know what that means.
Yes, you do.
I don't know what that means. I don't talk in numbers. Data boy.
Sorry. I like numbers, Jason.
I think in colors. My stuff goes in hues.
I
And
do
then it gets
think
to
it's
metallics,
really-
and they're all just kind of there.
It's really interesting for me that I went from being a math nerd when I was growing up to
To being a math nerd.
doing art.
That's true.
Which is kind of like a weird, like typically those two things like don't go together. You're either one or the other. And I find it really interesting that I went from one to the other.
Well, it's funny because I'm one of those people that believes that everything follows a logical progression.
Yes,
Right.
math is very logical.
And so mathematics involved in art is normal,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
Because of geometry, and especially when painting like we do, because you want to have, the light hit just right. And, so it's all geometry and physics.
It's good. Yeah, I like math. It's fun. Reminds me of a funny joke that I played on Paul a long time ago. He laughs every time he thinks about it too, which is how I know it was a good joke. Had to do with me making fun of Paul because he's a really good card game player, but is like sometimes is really bad at math. I was like, Paul, how are you so good at cards but so bad at math? He was like having me add like 2 + 10 or something. It was something silly, kind of like that. I was like, Paul,
You can see like 3 plays ahead with the cards he has in his hand, but he can't add 2 and 2 together.
Yeah. I was like, what the heck, Paul?
Yeah,
It's okay.
been there, done that.
It's great. Game delay. Your dad is actually a retired research mathematician. He's working on writing a math history text for pleasure. That's cool.
They're a different breed.
Yeah. Yeah, Maddie 2 is Jabe's sister-in-law's BFF. And roommate.
Yeah, and roommate.
Thor's boss. He knows where the paints are like a boss. I've certainly grabbed paints from that set of foam for long enough now that I should know where they belong.
It was funny because we talked about it when we went to New York Comic Con. He had put all the sets together for he and I. So the paints in our go bags were done a la Baby J.
Yeah.
So the whole way that the paints were put in there was foreign to me.
But I also
sat
did
down
it weird too.
and I looked over at him real quick, and then I thought, if I were Baby J, how would I have put these in here? And I was like, they probably go right to left, bottom to top.
Well, technically you're right, but it goes left to right for the first half of the sets, and the second half of the sets are on the right side. So I go
I basically just had to don't worry about it, Chad. I just had to turn them upside down, and they were okay.
And they were perfect. Yeah.
But I looked at in his case, and they were all upside down.
Yeah. If you rotate them literally 180 degrees,
They're the way they should be.
then they're perfect. They're like perfecter than perfect. In fact,
He's a weeb.
it's all left to right.
All his manga straight from Japan, reads
yeah,
from the back right.
But they don't start at the bottom of the page and go up. They also don't start on the left page and go to the right page. And I do both of those things.
It was very weird. It was like, this is just not right.
Yeah. It's I don't know why I wanted. So for those of you who don't know, I have 2 trays. Paint number 1, bold titanium white, is on the bottom right-hand corner of the left tray. And it goes all the way up to, hi, chair guy, up to 48 in the
It goes all
upper
the way to where
left-hand
it
corner.
shouldn't be.
And then I start in the bottom right-hand corner of the tray on the right side with 49. And then it goes all the way to the signature sets. Hi, new guy, Phil.
Hi.
New guy, Phil.
Very new. I've been here for
Phil just started.
Hi, Philip.
I just started 2 years ago.
How are you doing, Philip?
I am well. How are you?
I'm doing spectacular like.
Spectacular like?
Here, hold
Yeah,
on.
exactly. I was like, Phil and I thought the exact same thing. Wait a minute. Spectacular
Chill
like?
up.
That's like
Because
natural flavoring?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, like what is I'm doing good adjacent.
No, I'm doing good.
Okay, that's good.
It's a good day.
Master of the tasty buffalo chicken biscuits.
How
That's
has
right. He has a new name. He's
Master of the
chicken
biscuits.
now.
oh chair guys chicken biscuits?
Chicken biscuits.
I said that was my favorite dish, right? That Wednesday right before you left.
Yep.
No.
I let everybody know that my favorite dish from our smorgasbord.
But Baby J's is objectively wrong. There's no right way to organize it, but Baby J is definitely wrong. I wasn't here for that conversation, but I agree.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
there may not be a perfect way or a right way that we can describe organizing your paints, but his is wrong.
There's no wrong way to do
Not
it,
correct.
except for the way that
Except for
Jordan does it.
Baby J's
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
So long as you don't do it like Baby J does, you're fine.
No
It'll be
right way,
fine.
but there's definitely a wrong.
I'm gonna be honest. It works great.
You know what? If it works for you, Jordan, that's weird. It shouldn't.
You know what, Philip?
That's where it shouldn't.
You know what, Philip?
What's up?
Fair.
Good talk.
That's fair.
Hey, I need somebody to, because Jen's not here.
Oh,
Can
to
somebody
run
please
through.
go around and make sure all the doors are locked?
Yeah, I'll do that before I leave. I already locked the front door.
The back should be fine.
Back's usually fine. but
Production should take
I'll
care of
check
that.
anyways.
Production should take care of that.
If Baby Dre is wrong, I don't want to be wrong. I won't do it that way. Or maybe.
Wait a minute. Back up. You said if Baby J is wrong, wouldn't it normally go to I don't want to be right?
Yeah.
But
he said,
instead,
I
this
don't wanna
stayed
be-
I don't want to be Baby J is basically what
Yep,
they
that's
said.
what he's saying.
Yes.
Exactly.
It hurts my feelings a little bit, but I'll accept it.
It should hurt it a lot.
Damn.
You know, I'm pretty impervious to this kind of stuff at this point.
Damn.
Oh, that's good.
Phil jumping on you over here, man.
Nah, it's okay.
I don't know.
I am
Better
like
him than me.
the Silver Surfer.
Me.
My
Silver
body is
Surfer.
made of steel.
Is the Silver Surfer's body actually made of steel though, or is it like a space metal?
No, this is a sideways
I
joke.
think it's space metal.
Chill up.
This is a sideways
It's still
joke
me.
for those of you who haven't picked it up yet. We were talking about how Silver Surfer is actually Iceman.
Is he Iceman?
No, That's the joke.
So Baby J painted Iceman.
That's
and
really
everybody said
funny.
it looked like the Silver Surfer.
Oh.
Except it was actually Silver Surfer. So I'm saying that I am like Silver Surfer,
I locked the door,
but
Jen. Yes.
using the description of Colossus instead.
Got it.
Yes.
I've arrived.
Yeah.
I'm there.
The
I'm
joke
not,
doesn't
so
have as much
you guys are doing better
punch
than
when
me.
I have to explain.
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I'll
So,
check the back before I leave, Jen.
So you know.
Unless you'd rather me do it right this second, I can go do that now too.
Nah.
Jason says no. Never mind. Sorry, Jen.
Damn.
I take it back. You, not me. I was gonna go do
Game
it.
delay. Actually, any kind of organization would be a glow up for my paints, so Baby J's method wouldn't hurt at all.
What's 10 plus 2? 12? Am I missing something?
Do I win?
I made fun of Paul a
What'd I
little bit
win?
earlier.
Oh, did Paul get it wrong?
No. Well,
That's not Paul. That's Gabe.
it was a sideways joke.
Front is good. I'll go check the. Oh, thanks, Gabe. I don't have to do it. If someone breaks in, it's not my fault.
Even better.
It's Gabe's
Wait a
fault.
minute.
Even better. We can blame Gabe.
It's Gabe's fault.
Gabe, don't mess up. You sleep yet, Jacob?
Front is good. I'll check the back too.
Just making sure. Keeping you up. Keeping you on your toes. You look a little too comfy over there.
How you doing, Jacob?
I'm good.
You're interrupting his nap.
I'm not sleeping right now.
Building is
Right now,
secure.
being the
I don't know.
quintessential part of the phrase.
You look
At
like
this
you could go
exact
sleep
moment.
at any moment.
I wonder. I said it last time. How many times I've slept on stream?
Twice.
It's not. It's more than twice.
Well, there you go.
Philip
Jordan.
and Mr. Chair Guy, did you have a wonderful holiday weekend?
I did.
I unironically haven't talked to either of you today.
No, we've all been so busy today.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've sat down without the intention of working.
Yeah.
I'm just vibing. It was very
Vibing.
good. I had a very good holiday weekend.
Nice.
It's the first time I've had to do dual duty with multiple families.
Oh.
So that was a little exhausting,
Yeah.
but it was fun nonetheless.
Yep.
Lots of food.
Yep.
Did you get married?
I'm not married, no.
Okay.
Not planning on it anytime soon. How does one ironically not talk to someone? That's a really good question.
How does
I'm gonna let
somebody
Jordan answer.
ironically not talk to somebody?
You could talk about them in front of them.
No, because you did that earlier, ironically, we haven't actually talked today.
No.
Or not ironically.
No, I ironically would talk to Chair Guy by saying, "Hey Philip, I need you to communicate with Chair Guy and tell him that he's a nice human being and that I hope he had a wonderful vacation."
And then I would turn and say, Jordan says he hates you and he wishes you would leave.
Aww.
Damn, that went south in a hurry, Baby J.
Irony.
Irony? Where's the irony in
That's
that?
the joke, Jordan.
It was pretty ironic.
It was pretty...
You ever had that time when a word has been said out of context so many times that you've even forgot what it means? I'm there.
I'm right there, right now.
I'm right there.
The worst pause.
Phoenix is asking what color you are using.
I
Over there.
just showed it to you, Phoenix. This is dark camo green.
Dark camel green.
Starting with a fairly light coat. I wouldn't necessarily call it glazing, just a thinner base coat
thin coat.
of it. Hoping I can pick up a little bit of the colors that are underneath it, but I don't think it's going to matter. So it's probably not time well spent to even worry about it because I'm going to go yellow-green over the top of this.
Ooh, that'll be pretty.
Just a quick notification, it is 4:10.
Yeah, I got to keep going. You don't have to, though. Because Gabe and I, what we were planning on doing can't happen until I'm done with this.
Correct.
So I got to keep painting.
Do you need me for that tonight?
Huh?
Do you need me
No.
for any of that?
I need you, Jordan.
You can split.
Hey, Philip,
Yeah?
you got me whenever you need me.
Whoa, what are we witnessing here?
I said I need Jordan.
Phil, are you married now?
Nope.
Oh, speaking of Senior Philip,
Senor.
The gym opens up tomorrow, I think.
Oh, okay. I'll take a look tonight. I might have to wait. I do need to cancel my other gym membership still, so I will do that tonight,
Yes.
so that I can switch it to this one. So I don't have
I was
3 active gym memberships.
hoping
at the same
to
time.
actually go to the gym like this week.
Nice face, Jacob. This next week?
Like this week.
This week?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been waiting for the darn gym to open up, so I would like to go.
Jason, don't forget your haircut at 6.
I have a haircut at 6.
Don't forget.
Travel Cedric, you're a hero.
Yeah.
It's actually at 6:10, so I have to leave here by 6.
Where do you go get your haircut, Jason?
Where?
Yeah.
Keep it cut.
Never heard of it.
It's
He
right
doesn't
over by
go.
house. It's literally
Oh,
at
it's over by your
7th
house?
Ave and
Oh, yeah.
Thomas. No, 7th Ave and Osborne. Like literally on the way home.
Nice.
It's by it's in the parking lot with the Sprouts and all that stuff.
Oh,
It-
is
Oh, I know.
Oh, I
I
know
know,
that
I know what
place.
you're talking about. Yeah.
that place good?
Jiffy Lube.
Yeah, it's
Thor
great.
Spot says you get your haircut at Jiffy Lube.
It is kind of like a Jiffy Lube. It has a big garage door in the front that they can open up.
Oh,
There's a bunch of them throughout the valley, but the
never even heard of it. Get my haircut like once
I had
every
not heard about
6
it
months.
until it was right by my house, and I was
You
like, I
just
need to get
saw
my
it?
haircut. This place is right down the street. I'll give it a go, and it's great. It's
Nice.
better than any of the other fast, men's
Yeah, super cuts.
haircut places
Yeah.
like
Sports
Super
Clips.
Cuts or Sport Clips or anything. I tried to go to Sport Clips because it was closer to the other house
Yeah,
before we
they're bad.
moved,
It's awful.
but they just butcher your hair. I mean, not butcher it, but I always left
There's
there
no
feeling
finesse.
like I needed to go someplace else and get a second
get
opinion.
it cleaned up.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I like going to barbers.
I usually go to a barber.
Well, you guys, you do that Monument Barbershop.
Yeah.
But this feels more like that.
I have a blood debt to my barber.
You have
Oh,
a blood
blood
debt
debt,
to your
yeah.
barber?
Yeah, I can't switch barbers until one of us dies.
Why?
It's just a thing.
It's what you should do.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I like
Is this
going to
gonna
see
become
Eric.
a
So
Dateline episode because you're gonna want to have a new barber so
So
bad
you
that
murder guy.
now you're
there is something to be said for not
Killing
cheating
your
on your
barber?
barber.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say yes, Jacob. Don't do it.
Don't cheat on your barber.
I have to admit, Eric did a good job this time
Oh,
around.
was it Eric that did it?
Yeah.
Do you guys
Eric's
go
the
to
guy who's always been cutting my hair.
Oh,
Do you guys go to the same place?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
No, I asked him to leave it a little bit longer on top this time, and it was perfect. It was perfection. In
My thing is,
1994,
I just
gave up
don't
on
ever
barbers.
like to get my hair cut. It's not that I hate
I hate
going to the barber. I never think about it, so I'm really sloppy about hair.
I forget.
And so for me, yeah, exactly, right. And just so for me, I'm like, just buzz it all off. That way, I don't have to come back.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
I get mine cut like once every 6 months. I'm like 2 on the sides, blended to the top.
Exactly.
I mean,
It
that's
lasts
why I
6
go.
months, and then I go again in 6 months.
6
Yeah.
months later, I'm wearing hats, and when I find myself wearing hats every day, like now,
Yeah, you're just like, oh,
look at this.
Time to-
I'm in the
time to get a
weeds
haircut.
with my hair.
I mean, that's
So-
why I go get a skin fade every time I go get my hair cut,
Yeah, exactly.
because I
Lloyd's.
never get it cut again within a couple of months. So
I love going to the barber.
It
Based
lasts
on
George
long.
Boss says he goes to Floyd's. Is Floyd like your friend? He
Yeah,
has a
or
pair
is
of
that
dog
like a named
shears.
place?
Why is it called a pair of shears if there's only one?
I think it's 2
There's
pieces
two
of metal
blades.
riveted together.
Why is it pants?
There's 2 legs.
Yeah.
The logic's there.
He's got to fake his own death to switch barbers.
yeah,
And then
Jacob,
one day
I'll
you
help
get. Then one day it's like,
Yeah.
Jacob, I know you're in there.
Him and Andy meet me at the barber shop.
man, I was actually happy when I ended up moving to Tacoma and I had to switch barbers because that guy was not doing his job very well, unfortunately.
Always rough.
He was really good, and then I don't know if stuff caught up to him, but he was not pulling his weight. And I tip my barbers really good, so
That's one of the few things that I tip like well over to like.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I think,
For
I think
some
I usually do like
reason-
I think I do like 30%.
Yeah.
Like minimum when I tip
Yeah.
a barber.
Yeah, me too.
Like
I
think
mean I've
sometimes
tipped
done
up to 50% before.
Yeah, I think I've
yeah.
done 50 a few times. Like when I'm like feeling myself on the way out, I'm like, dude, I look good. This guy gets 50%.
Well, especially because there's a social aspect to it. If they talk to you, you
Yeah.
know,
Oh no, the barbers I tip the most are the ones that don't say a thing to me the whole
Oh my
time.
God.
What?
Oh really?
Oh, I don't talk at all at the barbers. I do not want to talk to strangers.
That's weird.
My barber will talk to me for literally the entire hour.
Phil
if
is
I
like total
entertain
stranger
him.
danger, and he's the Marine in the room.
That's why I just don't want to talk. I just like, what do we talk? What do I do for work? Well, let me tell you again for the 10th time. Like, no, I don't
Okay,
want-
well, yeah. Well, if you've told them
different.
and then you got to tell them again and keep telling
Yeah.
them, then yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about
Yeah.
the barber that when you walk in, they're like, "So how's it been? Last time you were doing this thing, and how's that
Yeah,
going?" And
that barber I would talk to, but I've never had a barber like that.
You go to the wrong places.
Yeah.
I just don't go to any place often enough.
You should go. You should go see.
that's the problem.
That's
too,
my
though,
problem.
is
It's
that
not.
I go
It's not.
at
It's
one-
that I go once
twice
every
a year.
6 months. Yeah, I don't expect the guy to remember me.
You
twice
should
a
go
year,
see
so
my
that's
guy or
really hard.
It's an
Jacob's
unfair
guy.
expectation.
Yeah, I guess I can't really.
You're just
fault them.
you just like talking to people, Jason.
Well, there is that. I've never met a stranger. So
Yeah,
there is that part of it.
Last
I
time
wouldn't say it's uncomfortable. Thor's pause. I don't get uncomfortable. I just don't want to talk to people I don't know. Like it's an emotional investment, and I don't for what like to what end?
Bill's looking at what is this going to mean in 2 hours.
Yeah, nothing. I'm gonna have a sore throat from talking for an hour straight. Stop it, Jacob.
I think you can hold up better than that, Philip.
My mom's friend who retired from the salon, she was charging me $50. It was a lousy cut. For $50, I can go downtown and get neck shoulders.
I've had people that swear
Oh,
by
yeah.
their barber being like their therapist. You know?
Really? That's funny.
Jen's hairstylist is a good friend of hers that she grew up with.
Oh,
and
that's
so,
like
of
best
course,
case scenario. That's like
it's
best
good
case
catch-up
scenario,
time for
yeah.
them.
You can just
you
spend
know.
a whole day together.
Yeah, they just get to hang out and
That's fun.
and catch up, so that's great.
Yeah.
Right?
She just went on Saturday, right?
What's that?
She had new hair this week. Did she go on Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Then you guys were here Friday and Sunday.
I'm trying to think if I want to do other.
I like the asymmetry of one. If you're talking about doing the other one.
Well, I'm thinking about painting a diagonal line across the other one.
Oh yeah, do
Ooh.
that. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
Asymmetry is always fun.
Or you do an X. An X would look cool too.
I just went to a barber's that offered beer for the first time. It was nice.
Wait,
They're like,
really?
Yeah, I went in and they're like, "You want a beer?" And I was like,
What the heck?
"What does it cost?" They're like, "Are you getting your haircut?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "It doesn't cost anything." I was like, "Yes, I will have a beer."
That sounds awesome.
like I mean, it was like a Miller Lite, but you know, there's no such thing as a bad beer. There's some beers better than others.
For 4 hours, Jen? Oh my goodness. I mean, I guess those things take a lot of time, right?
Yeah. 4 hours is a long time. But hey, if it's catch up time with a friend, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
That's great.
it's awesome that you can do that and have it be catch up time as well.
Yeah.
That's like the best part.
Yeah, it's a win-win. And I'm assuming she gets paid too, so it's super great.
Yeah. I unironically went and got my haircut on my lunch break last Tuesday.
So beer is like organizing your paints. No such thing as a bad one. Unless it's Baby J's method.
Wow. Wow.
Baby J's method is the
Wow.
Pabst Blue Ribbon. Actually, I like Pabst.
Beer is so the haircut looks better.
Yeah, they get you drunk beforehand, so you're
It's
like,
like,
oh, I look really good.
We're gonna
Valid.
yeah, we're gonna do that. So yeah,
That's funny.
Valid. You don't have to cut hair as well if you offer beer.
That's true. You know what?
what are you planning on doing here next, Jason?
Yeah, what's
For the
next?
green, or are you done with the green for right now until after the
No, yellow green.
Noosh? You're gonna do yellow green next.
Yeah, yellow green.
Ooh.
Yeah, I want to get at least a highlight layer on everything to show some value. And since I just covered up the value we created with the airbrushing
Yep.
for the green parts, I need to go do something else. So we will grab yellow green. Bam. Yellow green, dark camo green. If you go dark camo green, it keeps you in that kind of almost a deeper, I want to say it's a more bluish green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you go into yellow green, and then it starts moving you into that other
The
arena.
warmer colors.
Yeah.
So both of them are kind of, you start with dark camo, and then you can split off in whichever of those directions you want to with your green. If you go yellow green, then you can wind up ending up with as bright yellow green.
Nice.
But I will mix the two a little bit here.
My place gives you 2 beers if that speaks to the talent they hire. Yeah, it's either a good thing or a bad thing.
And this is a mix of your dark camo green and yellow green.
Yeah. I'll do that real thin first, since I'm building up my gradient by hand. Just pull my brush to my high spot. Each time you can already see how it's a little bit darker where my brush stroke started, and pushing the paint towards the brighter end of things.
Very nice.
Doris pause. The place I go to has hookah pipes. What the heck?
Jeez.
What kind of barber are you people going to?
The kind where you don't even have to get your hair done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just like, I
You
went to the
leave and you
barber,
forgot
man.
to get a haircut.
I went to the barber, man. I think he cut my hair.
I've been to a hookah bar since my youth.
Man. I'm
Did you
excited.
say since your youth?
That's what I was
Yeah.
about to say.
Yes.
Sent
my
to
youth.
your youth?
Since
Since I was a wee
since I
child.
was a wee lad. My early 20s, dude. I was a baby.
I'm trying to think of when I started going
I was
to a
like 100
barber.
Was
pounds
that
lighter.
overseas?
Yeah, I was in
I was
Thailand.
gonna say that's probably, I was gonna say it's probably Thailand.
Yeah, I was living in Thailand. The kind where the barber chairs are more of a front.
They have beanbag chairs or barber chairs.
I just want a big pillow. You guys ever fallen asleep while getting a haircut?
Oh, bro, you have no idea.
I used to do that all the time. It's great.
I feel so bad every time, but it's like every other haircut. I'm like,
Jacob,
dozing
you fall
off.
asleep everywhere.
Wait, you
though.
fall asleep during your haircuts?
Yes.
I have twice. Two
That's so
different
funny.
occasions with two different barbers. I fell asleep.
I would be. I don't know. I wouldn't even be embarrassed. I'd just be like, yo,
You're
I'm
really
tired.
good at your job. This is very comfortable. Thank
yeah,
you.
this is a very soothing experience.
Yeah.
And you should take it as a.
My
Jacob probably does.
the guy that I apprenticed under at tattooing was tattooing my left, right. I forget which calf he was tattooing, but he was tattooing my calf and I fell asleep.
You passed out during a tattoo?
Yeah, and he was talking to me, and of course he got pissed off because I was asleep,
Yeah.
and so he just took the machine and hit me right in the ditch of the back of my knee.
Oh.
And he's like, "You will pay attention to me," and I'm like, "Oh, damn it! Did I fall asleep?"
You're laying for a calf tattoo. You're laying on your stomach.
Yeah.
You're just like, that's nap time. That's prime nap time.
Oh, and he had comfy tattoo bed, pillows. I was like, "Yeah, I'm done."
Jacob, can't believe that's funny. Jacob isn't just this chair guy. He's apparently any chair guy.
True.
It's specifically this chair and
At his barber's
barber
chair.
Yep.
Next time we get a haircut, can I come? I just want to witness.
you want to see me like
Fall asleep? Yeah.
yeah.
Ooh, a new follow.
Thank you for a follow.
No.
Thank you for the follow. Xerin.
Xerin?
Xerin.
Xerin?
I'm trying over here.
Yeah.
I'm trying over here.
Xerin. There we go. We're getting there.
There it is. I was waiting for the little noise. I found out.
What's that?
Oh, I'm reading. Sorry. I read out loud.
There you go.
There it is.
Xerin. Thank you for the confirmation that I said it right, or at least close enough for you to say that.
Yeah.
Made the mistake of letting your cousin
Thank
cut your
you, and
hair
hello,
once, could never
welcome.
get it fixed after. Oh my god. So I have a really bad cut your friend's hair story. It was a guy that worked with me at the place. Remember when I talked about the place with the guy that did the 900 numbers?
No.
Uh,
Maybe vaguely.
I did the record thing. Were you here that day or were you gone? Jen, when we were showing people the Filth and Scum
Oh,
records that
yes. Yes, I was
did the
here for
record
that.
cover for
Yeah,
him?
yeah, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, okay. So
I
that
thought I was
guy,
figuring it out.
when we were working with that family, because it was him and his wife, and I was working for them, and the guy that had been working there for a lot longer than me was going into the Navy, and he wanted a haircut. And he knew that I cut a bunch of my friends' hair, and he had met them, and I with a buzz cut, I'd do like you said, I'd do a 2 on the sides and
Yep.
4 up top or whatever, and I blend it
Yep.
a little bit with a comb.
Yep.
And so he was like, I just need you to cut my hair real quick, man. I've seen you do your friends, that's great. And I was like, well, I don't have my stuff. And he goes, oh, Sandy, the wife, she's got a pair of clippers that are really bitching. They're like modern and blah blah blah. I was like, all right, man, you want me to? So we went out in the backyard during lunch or whatever, and we're cutting his hair, and the clippers had one of those guards on them that you adjust to be the right size.
Oh, I've done this before
Yeah.
with my beard, but not.
And
my...
it skipped down 2 notches when I was cutting his hair.
Yeah.
You know? And so he was like, what just happened? And everybody around was going, ooh. He's like, what is
Nothing.
ooh? Ooh, is ooh bad? Ooh, what is ooh? You know? And I'm like, yeah, ooh's kind of bad. And I go, you know, so much
bad.
So much for Sandy's amazing clippers. And Sandy's sitting there going, yeah, they do that sometimes.
Thanks.
Would have been great to know beforehand.
It was so funny. He was livid because it was just like patch like right here on the side that just went from like I think I was doing like a 4 on top to a 2. The side of his hair was a 2 and it went like 4 to 2. Went, did it? And it was like, "Grr," and I was like, whoop. And I
Time to shave your head.
He goes, how do we fix it? And I go, like this. And I go, oh my God, he hated my guts.
Yeah, I did that. That was the when I had to.
He felt like I
shave
didn't
my whole
offer him
beard
all the
off.
solutions. And I was like, dude, there's no solution.
Yeah, no, there's no solution for that. Just yeah,
cut
because
it
I
all.
did that last time. I have one of those, but it doesn't like slip adjust. You literally have to like manually rotate the position on the.
Okay, so it has
with
like a
your
button
hand.
or something?
No, it's not a button. It literally is just it's like a 90-degree thing, and you just roll the back side of the clipper to adjust the height manually to whatever you want it to be.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize that I grabbed that one, so I went straight with it because I thought it was like the next step down. Because I fade my own beard in when I'm in between haircuts, so I'll be going with like the lower level razor or clippers, and then I went to the one that basically is that right angle, and it goes to complete clean. It just has like a weird like L shape on it.
Okay.
And I didn't realize it, and I like shaved off half of my beard because I just like went at it, and I was like, well, I guess
committed.
this isn't gonna work.
Here we are.
So I shaved it into a goatee,
I want to see Jordan with a goatee.
or what's the one where you have the mustache that goes around with like the beard,
The
beard
handlebar?
thing? No, not handlebar. You still have the bit around your chin.
Yeah, goatee. You have your
Is that-
mustache and chin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's goatee.
Okay, so goatee.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I did that, and I was like, I cannot go out in public like this. And then I shaved it, and I was just like, nah, this is all going.
Yeah, I think it grows back, thankfully.
Yeah. Well, and the funny thing is that was the photo that I showed to chat a while back.
I want to see that.
Babyface, Baby J.
Have you not seen this, Philip?
I don't think so.
All right. Here.
Is it him without a beard?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
Was it
you're
here?
You're gonna learn.
You're gonna learn.
You're gonna learn.
You gonna learn today.
You're gonna get learned.
Man,
I'm glad that I have this photo because it's never gonna happen again.
Man, I sent out so many store orders today and last week, and I still have so many more to do. In a good way.
It's a good thing.
It's a great thing.
Just
I think,
tiring.
I think I sent last Monday through Wednesday, I sent like, how many pre-orders do we have? We had 50 something stores pre-order. Those all went out last week before.
Yeah, I think so.
Before
I think
Thanksgiving.
that's what you were saying, yeah.
All right,
It's like
Philip.
52, I think. Oh goodness. Oh, I have to get up and see this.
It's worth every.
Oh, it is.
Every motion of your
it's
body.
Worth it. Oh, sweet Moses, Jordan.
Isn't that so weird?
Sweet Moses, Jordan.
It's so different.
That's
you look
so
you
weird.
look so different.
Yeah.
It's so different. Not what I'm expecting. I guess it'd be the same as I haven't fully shaved
Here,
clean shaven in a long time.
let me see if I
You
can.
know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna do this fast with the airbrush.
Isn't there one with no hair at all?
The last color.
That's me
What
without a
did Jabe
beard.
do? Thanks, Jabe.
It's weird. In all of my weird glory with no beard.
I feel like I've seen one where there's zero hair on your face before.
No, that is about as that's about as clean as
Phil.
it gets, Jacob. Because it doesn't stay clean shaven for very long.
You get 5 o'clock shadow real easy.
A little bit of glaze wash.
Red letter media.
Oh my god. That's actually true.
Yeah,
I gotta-
actually correct.
Probably double up the paint to medium.
Oh, you do medium?
And then a spritz of water. Just a spritz.
Yeah, game delay, you're right. I am one of those guys who shaves and then immediately needs to shave again.
By the time you leave the house.
Yeah,
You got
pretty much.
stubble. 5 o'clock shadow. You mean 5-minute shadow?
Yeah, it really is like immediate.
Well, you're Guatemalan, Ecuadorian,
Nicaraguan.
Yeah.
Nicaragua.
Yeah, I'm a quarter Nicaraguan, and then the rest of my ancestry is like some combination of Euro.
Greek?
No.
By any chance?
No, not really. Yeah, I mean when I looked it up last, it was referred to as like Euro mutt.
Euro mutt.
Yeah, it's just like some smorgasbord
You need to
of.
not go to those websites anymore, Jordan.
I know. I know. I go to.
We don't like
too
those
much.
mutt websites.
But yeah. So it's like some combination of European mixed together. But it is weird though, because like I've gotten like I've had people say that I look Italian. I've had people that say that I look Greek, like you said. Nicaraguan is not one that gets picked up a lot.
I get Eastern European vibes.
Eastern European,
get, like,
I get a
Romanian.
lot.
A little bit of Turkey.
Yeah, definitely. I could see that. But yeah, no, it's weird.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to take one of those like ancestry tests to see.
Just to see.
Yeah,
just to
I'd be
know.
curious. Yeah.
I mean, you can just look at my skin and know I'm European of some. I'm German, Scottish,
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Irish. Whatever the palest European countries are, that's me.
Yeah. Well, that's the
just look
thing
at
too.
skin
Is
around.
like, I have pretty pale skin for being a quarter Nicaraguan.
I get an alpaca vibe.
I get
From,
an
from Jordan
alpaca.
or from yourself?
For
Calling
yourself,
Jordan
for
an
me.
alpaca?
I give an alpaca vibe.
It's giving alpaca.
Yeah, just blasting those highlights on with the airbrush real fast.
Yeah, looking good.
This is one of the nice things about an airbrush. Once you can kind of get to the point where you have good control over it, you can put in these highlights really quick without having to worry about any overspray.
Overspray, yeah.
Jordan, I think they do like holiday deals for like Ancestry, because that's how I did mine a couple years ago.
Oh, really?
I don't
Did
know
you
if
did you find interesting things out when you did yours, or was it more or less kind of what you expected?
He has
I
narcolepsy.
didn't really. That's not on there. I didn't really
sure?
have expectations.
He's descended from a long line of chairs, chair makers, furniture makers.
Man, how funny would that
50%
be
chair.
if I found out that I was adopted?
You found someone that was adopted through one of
That'd be
those?
pretty funny.
Oh, dude, that's a brutal way to find out.
I'm definitely not adopted though. If you look at a picture of my dad and you look at a picture of me, we are very similar looking in a lot of ways.
24-hour stream? Dude, I'm 100% down for a 24-hour stream if Jason would let me.
I could.
Oh
do
my
it.
God.
If he put me in here for 24 hours, I would do it. I'd be awake the whole time. No naps needed. I wouldn't let Jake. The whole bit would be not letting Jacob nap.
That's funny.
That'd
Hey.
be funny.
Hey Phil,
Hey, Jordan.
I would actually be down to do that. I kind
Dude,
of
I would be so down. I have so much stuff to paint. I could be here forever.
yeah, it would be a fun thing to just be like, I'm gonna work on this project until it's done.
It's like,
Yeah.
how much can we do? 24 hour? I don't know if I'd actually finish an army gym, but at least I could like try.
I feel like you could
I'd be
probably
here.
finish an army.
You underestimate my inability to paint.
I
don't paint
I think
quickly.
you underestimate your ability to get stuff done.
You're right. Well, we won't know until we
Especially if
try.
you and I are working together.
That's
like,
true. I am motivated by other people. If I'm doing stuff with people, I'm
well,
good.
and the other thing too is I can help you get some like good techniques to save time too, right?
Oh yeah.
'Cause
mean,
I
we
do a
have
lot of,
all those-
like-
all those new flesh eater quartz models are coming out soon.
All the what?
All the new flesh eater quartz models are coming out
Yeah.
soon.
yeah.
I'm down. Sign me up, Jason. Give me
Sign me up, Jason.
What am I signing up for?
24-hour stream. Me and Jordan are gonna do a 24-hour stream.
Whoa.
You said you would want to do it. You just.
I'm interested in the idea. We need to have a
in
conversation
theory, it
about
sounds
it.
fun. All right, me and Jacob will do it. Fine.
We need
That's
need
fine.
Me
to.
and Jacob will do it.
This is a conversation that needs more conversation than
Nope.
hey.
I'm in. Be more impulsive, Jordan.
Phil's already figured it out.
Why
All right,
is
you know what, Phil? We're doing it.
All right,
okay?
cool. We're
That's
doing
what
it.
you get, Phil.
Awesome.
So,
I'm in.
That's what you get.
I get exactly what I wanted. Awesome. Sounds great.
Well, also you're gonna be my gym buddy, so
Yeah.
the least I can do is do a 24-hour stream with you.
I had a great holiday. I hope you had a great holiday.
Gosu, hello, welcome.
Pre-ordered. Not on pre-order anymore. You're gonna get it eventually. Rapid Boys, 24 hours starts now. No. We didn't say now. I have a dog who's home alone right now. I would like him to not starve. I heard there was 100% a 25-hour stream. Listen to Jabe. How's it going, Jason?
I think I'm doing okay. What do you think, Phil? It's my first model ever.
It's really good for your first model ever.
Jason, this is
If you
spectacular
could
for
lean
your
on
first
my
miniature
expertise
ever.
a little bit. I'm just kidding. I have no tips. I can't even pretend to have tips.
All right.
Is this you still gonna do anything else to it, or edge highlights or anything like that?
Yeah, I need to do edge highlights on the green.
No.
I'm probably just gonna dry brush.
What legion is it?
Death Guard.
Death Guard. Someone asked.
Yes, this is a Death Guard Contemptor Dreadnought.
Yeah.
Is this 30k or Horse Heresy?
Yeah.
It's a full beaver moon.
What? Oh, you're reading chat. I did not see that.
The time of year when beavers are more active.
Gotta watch out with active beaver time.
It did nuts.
Yeah, it's today.
Today is Beaver Moon.
It's full beaver moon. Not to be confused with
Half
with
or
waxing
Beaver Moon.
waning beaver moon.
the waning Beaver Moon.
Wait, is there a waxing beaver moon?
I don't know.
That's
We'll
what
find out.
What the
I
heck
feel
is
like
a
that's little
beaver
on the
moon?
nose.
That's very, very.
It's the time of year when beavers are most active, Jordan.
Oh my goodness.
A waxing beaver moon.
I feel like
It's a little, yeah.
I feel like this is
We're getting out of hand.
Getting out of hand.
We're one step away from being in trouble.
It's specifically a full moon.
I have the feeling that people should stop saying Beaver Moon. Yeah, probably. That is it's a
I
sound
concur with
advice.
this statement.
Is this a real thing? How did this come up?
Someone said in chat.
And I looked it up, and it's real.
This is chat's fault.
Ghost Thunder, I heard there was 100% a 25-hour stream.
Yeah.
You can now start.
Longest I've
beaver
done
fur
is
trade.
28, I believe.
28?
I want to beat that.
I don't think I hit 30.
Philip,
I'm going to beat it.
I'm going to beat
I'm going to
that.
beat it.
Longest I did was 28.
Remember,
I will
we
do-
have to get approval from Jason to do
Nope.
this thing.
I can do it at home. I have a Twitch.
I guess that's true.
Everyone
I
want to
used
come
to
watch
run
me do
a
it?
bounty system on my stream
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
where after so many donations, I would put up the bounty screen and then you could win giveaways for whatever game we were playing if you killed me in a match.
Oh.
And so everybody would try to sync drop
Yeah,
into
yeah,
whatever
everyone's
game
got it.
I was playing.
Yep.
World of Tanks, War Thunder,
I miss playing War Thunder
Mech Warrior
sometimes.
Online, right? Any PvP game that I was playing that allowed multiple big groups, because it would have to be like 12
Yeah,
and 15
yeah, you
on
got it.
12
Yeah,
and
you
15
gotta do those.
in order for it
people
to
actually
really
have a
work.
shot to get into the server.
And boy, you'd be surprised like how many people get pissed off when they drop in and they be on my side.
Like,
And
oh,
they're
dang
like-
it.
And they're like, what if I team kill you? I was like, no TKs.
doesn't count.
Can't team kill. You know, but if you just got to keep
You're
dropping.
playing War Thunder right now?
What's that?
I'm reading chat. Spitfire's playing War Thunder right now.
Playing War Thunder right this minute? I stopped playing War Thunder a long time ago. The planes is all I really liked.
Oh, I played tanks.
The tanks weren't great back then. It was just like...
I'd
you
argue
know,
they're still not great, but it's still fun.
It was a little too sim, you know? Like, because you'd start out in matches and you'd be like Tiger against Stewart.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
You're like one shot from across
yeah,
the map.
I'm
He's
dead.
got an 88. I don't even have a tank gun, really.
This is fun.
I have a bunch of machine guns. There's no people on foot. It's like, wow,
Yeah.
this is great.
This is super
Because
fun.
you had to play like that until you unlock the other
Until
big
you actually get
stuff.
something that you could do,
And I
yeah.
was like, yeah, this is not fun.
Yeah, some of the tiers were so fun.
But
too.
airplanes, I had a lot of airplanes. Before they added jets, I had really good airplanes. So that was a lot of fun. Then when they added jets and people were buying jets, I was like, well, this game got shitty real quick.
And I die all the time.
Because I was not. I mean, we would like chat would donate to buy premium tanks and stuff on
Yeah.
World of Tanks, and we'd play with premium tanks and all that. But they
Oh, that's
weren't
so
as OP as
No, they're not.
like ME-109 or no, the I forget what the first jet was, the German jet that they added into the
yeah.
game. Was
The,
like, what
oh.
the balls?
I think you're right.
What
Seriously?
the balls?
Yeah, the 109. The Messerschmitt 109. Yeah.
No, the F5C. What is
F5.
it? ME 262. I don't know what it was, but
Yeah,
it was,
no,
it was a
ME
pain in the
262.
butt is what it was.
Yeah, because you're in a prop plane and it's a jet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Because the rest of us were playing the real game, and that guy was on like some sci-fi stuff. Right. I need
There's too many good people in that game right now. Spitfire says if you buy a jet right away nowadays, you're just not gonna have fun because you're just gonna get wrecked.
War Thunder.
Yeah.
I like those things. There was another one called it was a space game. It's called like Star. They're all called Star something.
Citizen? No,
Star.
I'm
No.
joking. I'm joking.
It's the same where you had to go through a tech tree
Yeah, tech tree.
with the models. Star.
Homie pulling up in a Thunderhawk cash shop strikes again.
Cash shops. Yeah, Thunderhawk. Elite Dangerous?
No,
Didn't
it
that-
had
no,
tech
you can kind of
trees.
buy whatever you want.
It had tech
Elite
trees. Elite is just go around and get money and buy the ship.
Yeah,
you want.
Elite Dangerous would get wrecked in. EVE Online, you just have a bad
Hey,
time.
hey, Jason, what are you dry brushing these edge highlights with?
Yellow green still.
Still yellow.
So
green.
because I used yellow green as a mixer with the dark camo first, and did that with brush, and then I took yellow green and thinned it down and threw it through the airbrush. Yellow green will still be a good enough bright edge highlight for me right now.
Cool.
Didn't EVE Online have like a $3 million like space battle or something ridiculous?
There's been a lot of real world money
Like real
lost
world
in
money
big,
lost in
big
EVE,
stuff.
yeah.
I played EVE for a long time.
I always wanted to get into
I
Eve,
still
but
have
I
a
couldn't.
very sought after character in there. He's got great PvP stats, lots of skills and all that. I just haven't ever spent any time trying to sell my account.
Get commissions?
They were kidnapping people in EVE Online and forcing them to mine in far-off galaxies.
That game
What
is
the
wild.
heck? Actual digital slave labor. Insanity. EVE is a crazy game. I've never felt so paranoid playing a game in my life.
Oh my god, it's so tense. So tense. Like just mining. You're out like sucking rocks, and all of a sudden it's like, you especially if you're like in 0-0, because they drive you to the scariest parts of the universe to make the most money.
Yeah.
So you join a big corp, and that corp, if they're making any money, are either in something like a wormhole. Wormhole is like the most like completely out of control, worried about everything every moment, skittish way to live, and I loved it.
It was everything I lived for.
It was amazing. Once wormhole play opened up, I was like, I want to live in a wormhole.
The
I worked
paranoia.
for a wormhole corp, lived in the wormhole. We had a size 5 wormhole, and we would run sites in the wormhole to make tons of cash all the time. And then I owned my own size 3 with a high sec out. And I had a stick. None of this makes any sense if you didn't play. But I had a station with a bubble and all sorts of stuff in there. And a few of us that were in the corp had this size 3 where we kept all of our ships that we didn't trust the corp with. Because when you're a corp back then, your corp hangars were available to anybody.
Anybody and everybody, yeah.
And so if you had ships that you had billions of ISK in or something, you didn't necessarily want to leave them for all your corp mates to steal.
Man, you know what? Spitfire Miniatures has it as well. The paranoia in Tarkov is unreal.
Oh,
I
Tarkov
get
is
that.
also kind of like that, because again, your stuff is like you lose it, it's
It's
gone.
gone. Yeah.
It doesn't respawn.
So I just scav.
Yeah, scabbing is
Scabbing is just fun.
when I haven't played in a long time, so
Me
I don't know if
either.
it's exactly the same anymore. But you would have to scab if you died. I don't think you could run as an
You can run as a scav for a while.
maybe. So I don't remember.
Or something like that.
You can scav. You can do it like up to certain amount of
Can you
times.
do it
per
like a
day.
certain amount? It was limited to how many times you could do it,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
In any given time period.
Yeah.
I feel like.
It was usually enough that you could play mostly scav whenever you want.
Yeah,
Oh,
as long as
okay.
you just go in and die right away. Scav timer is like 20 minutes and goes down to 12.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah, it's
So
like one.
yeah, as long as you don't go in and die instantly.
Cooldown. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
I love that game. I thought it was great, but unfortunately back then there wasn't the same thrill that I think you get nowadays, because it was server resets all the time. You just lost and wiped
Everything,
everything
yeah.
like every
No,
day.
they do them like once every like 3 to 6 months.
Because I was
now.
part of the alpha or beta or whatever when we were
Yeah.
streaming it originally. There were only like half a dozen people streaming it, and nobody cared.
Yeah.
And then forget who the guy was whose stream took off with viewers, and it was still at the time where it was wiping the server all the time, and I was
Yeah,
like, it's just annoying.
How much time do we got left on this?
Huh?
How much time do we got left on this? You think?
Oh, I don't know. You can leave whenever you want.
Okay. I am in a jet.
You don't gotta stay.
I gotta go cook myself some dinner for the next week.
Nice. I should do that tonight too. I
Yes.
still have Thanksgiving leftovers. Though.
I'm making spaghetti,
spaghetti.
and I'm stoked.
Nice.
It's gonna be awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, got all the ingredients last night. What I am gonna do is I'm gonna throw up all the links so that you guys have it. Have a nice night, everybody.
You too.
Much
Jordan.
much love from me. Oh, Gabe's gonna come over and take over for me.
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna
yeah.
say Gabe
Okay.
can.
Yeah,
Gabe
well, you
can
don't,
run
you don't
it,
want
or-
me in charge?
One of these guys can run it. I think new guy Phil being on the 1s and 2s would be hilarious.
Yeah, give me control.
All right. Well,
No, we'll do that for the 24-hour stream.
I'll
Don't
let
let me
Gabe
learn or do
sort this
anything
out
here
then.
until we do a 24-hour stream. And then watch me just learn it all.
you guys are awesome. It's
Bye,
really
baby
nice
Jay.
to come back and hang out with you guys on stream. I have missed you all.
I miss
So I
too,
hope you all
Jordan.
have a wonderful evening, and I will see you mañana.
Bye.
What's up, hipster Gumby?
Gumby. Gumby Wumby.
For taking over.
See you, Jordan.
Oh,
hello.
hello. Philip.
I'm not chair
Have a nice
guy.
night.
That's chair
Jason,
guy.
have a wonderful evening.
You as well.
I will see you.
Have fun cooking spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
I thought you were going to like give Jason a hug.
I mean, I think we give Jason a hug.
No, I don't.
Ah,
want
you
to.
stay away from me.
I just thought that's why you're going over there. You're
Chat,
just like
I'm
sneaking up
blinking
behind
twice. This is blinking twice. Multiple twice blinks.
Ugh. Someone like just screenshot that. And
Multiple twice blinks.
Just Jordan behind Jason.
I won't give him a hug unless he asks. Nice about that sort
He is not nice.
I kept blinking twice.
of. I'm blinking as many times as I can.
Bye, Jordan.
I blinked twice, and nobody
Drive
caught it.
safe.
Cancels it out.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I said I'm blinking twice multiple times.
Do you need the airbrush, Jason?
No, I think you can turn it off now.
Okay, I'll just turn it
Thank you, sir.
No yawning.
So the idea with what I'm doing with the edge highlights is
do that.
obvious, right? Giving it some highlighting. But the reason I'm doing it before the wash is kind of a thing that I try to teach a lot. If you just take the time to do a little bit of highlighting before you do like your brighter edge highlights before you put a wash on, your wash can only look better.
Yeah.
All right. That's just the case. So you don't have to, right? Lots of you have probably just done base coat, highlight on the base coat like we've done, and then, wash over the top of that, and that's fine. But if you go ahead and do some brighter edge highlighting and things like that, then your wash is going to be even better for the model because it's going to take those edge highlights and knock them down a tone or two so that you have that easy mid-tone highlight that you see me doing on models all the time. And that's what really starts setting your model apart. Is a lot of times we'll do the edge, but we'll only do it once because, we're lazy. I don't want to go back and edge highlight 15 times. But if you edge highlight and then do the wash, let the wash darken up your edges, and then come back and hit them in just smaller areas, really bright, then it works really well. The whole model just gains from it. There's no downside.
No downside.
Other than a little bit of time, because it does take a little bit longer time to do the same line 1.5 times. I can't say twice because you're not going to do the whole line both times.
Yeah.
But
Thank you for the follow, Killer Coddle. Welcome. How was your day, Gabe? Or Jabe?
It was good. It was Monday.
It was Monday. It was, in fact, a Monday. Do anything fun?
No,
Nope, just worked.
just work. Work is
You
fun,
mean
though.
work isn't fun? Oh,
Like
he beat me
nothing-
to it.
nothing
He beat me to it.
Like nothing.
Yeah,
that's like,
yeah, yeah.
oh,
That
I
was-
could do
that
this
was-
super cool thing today.
That was a thing. That happened. Nice.
Gabe's always doing fun stuff. He gets to shoot
Yeah.
videos,
He
edit
does videos all day.
videos.
This is fascinating seeing Jason paint something quickly.
What's that?
Someone said in chat, this is fascinating seeing Jason paint something quickly.
It happens.
You guys need to tell him, hey, using that model for video right after stream.
we are.
Paint it.
Paint it. That's why he's painting it.
It seemed to
Well,
work for
and
the,
setting out with a model with a goal in mind,
yeah.
which is, like you said, like, hey, this is going to be on a video. That does make it a little bit easier because number one, I'm not painting the way I would normally paint, right?
Yeah.
We're not going through and detailing everything to the nth degree every step of the way. This is just base coats really for me.
Yep.
Now, I would paint a model this way to turn it into my finished goal, but yeah, I wouldn't do it. You wouldn't see as much progress in one stream because I'd spend more time getting the armor further along, but I like it. It
You're
is
correct, Ghost
refreshing
Hunter.
every now and then to paint this way, though. Is this bright enough? Yeah, it's bright
That's
enough.
why I'm not wearing
White, blue.
pink shorts.
Gabe, are you wearing pink shorts?
I'm not right now.
Stand up. Prove it.
They're black.
Nope,
Can I
prove it.
Put my leg up in the air. Look at these.
Oh, he is wearing. Those capris? Why are they halfway up your calf?
He's
They're
going
just-
clamming.
He's going clamming. Have you actually been clamming? It's so fun.
They just slide.
Dude, I love.
Oh, Phil. So I was like, I've actually been clamming.
I have. You guys been noodling?
Well, you're from
Noodling's fun
Missouri,
too.
aren't you?
Yeah, I'm from Missouri. We do dumb stuff in the water. There's nothing else to do, so we're like,
Do
let's
dumb
go.
stuff in the water.
Have you been noodling before, Jason?
What is it?
Noodling? you catch
that's not
catfish
this,
with your
This is not
hands?
that kind of channel, Phil.
No, you go catch catfish with your hands. You get in the water like waist deep, and you find a catfish hole, and then you put on a glove, and then you stuff your hand down the hole until they bite your hand, and then you yank them out.
I have not. I have seen people do it, though.
It's very fun.
Crazy.
It hurts.
Fuck.
What the heck, Jason? Not Jason, Jacob. Okay, whatever. J names.
I was bored with this one. I wasn't given it.
I mean, Jason was born with his too.
Was I?
Were you?
I'm
Or am I
doubtful.
really?
It's very fun.
doubtful.
It hurts getting mixed signals. Have you ever heard of masochism?
Oh my.
Well, I'm not a girl on Instagram, Sugar Rush. I'm a boy on Twitch. Is that a city in the Midwest? What city? Little. Yeah, I don't do it. I don't go for the big one, Schmidt. The little guys is all I need. I don't try and get the ones that will actually take a finger off.
Are there people that lose digits doing this?
Yeah, you lose fingers real easy.
Wow.
How?
They're a really
It's
big
not a real good
catfish.
sell point. I'm just
Those are-
going to say
those
it.
are very large. There are very large catfish out there with lots of bite force.
Ugh.
I just do the little ones. I've got like cut once before, but that was it.
Is it because their teeth are sharp or because they just bite so hard?
Yes. They don't have like super sharp teeth, but they bite very hard and very quickly. Also, like if they bite you and they hold on, like they can like twist and like just tear it off too. You know, like a crocodile.
Gross.
Gross. Or you stick your hand in the wrong hole and you get a crocodile. There's an actual alligator or like a snapping turtle. Like an alligator snapping turtle. That
Deadbeat. Says I'm gonna stick to ranged fishing rather than
ranged fishing melee.
None of
No,
the-
no,
none of this.
That melee fishing
Ranged
build.
fishing sounds much better,
I'm
Chad.
actually a defense pure fishing.
Good night, Game Delay. If you can hear us, but your headphones ran out of battery, so maybe not. Unless you have good
Everybody wave.
speakers.
Wave, bye.
Everybody wave your screen.
What
Jason-
happened?
Game Delay's headphones died, so he can't hear us, but he's saying goodnight. So we're waving to him so he can know that we see and acknowledge his departure.
I need you to sign to him that I say goodbye to.
I don't know how to sign.
Me neither.
I prefer ace fishing with dynamite. It's
No, AOE.
AOE fishing.
AOE, I thought it was an ace. AOE fishing. I did that as a kid. We threw M80s in the pond.
Yeah.
We didn't get anything.
You go dot fishing with lead.
Dot fishing. Damage over time. Lead poisoning.
Oh.
That's actually really fun.
That's very funny.
Apply dot. More dots.
Apply dot. Wait 10 to 8 years. 10 to 8, 10 to 12 years.
More dots.
Dude, I need to leave. I'm having a day. The brain rot is setting in. Is that white blue, Jason?
White blue.
White blue.
Good blue.
Good blue. It's a good white. Next on you, mercury levels in the water are rising. So dot fishing isn't a thing anymore.
I'm gonna go eat salmon after this. So.
Are you gonna eat
test
salmon that you lead poisoned?
Well, no. He said the mercury level's rising, and that's like salmon's thing, right?
Yep.
There's a ton
I
of
think
mercury in
all
it.
fish have a lot of mercury,
I mean, yeah, but
or like ocean fish, I guess. Salmon sounds good. Oh, dude, does anybody else like sashimi, or is that just me?
I've never actually had it.
I do.
I love raw fish. Salmon specifically.
Where are you getting salmon from, Jacob?
My house. My kitchen.
Like, where are you buying it from?
You just have salmon on hand?
Yeah,
Yup.
you just have a salmon farm in your bathtub.
The grocery store. Indoor fishing.
Yeah, farm raised. Which grocery store?
I went to a Fry's.
Fry's, classic.
You get frozen salmon?
Yes.
Dude, smoked salmon is so good.
Salmon is-
The best, Gabriel?
It is the best.
Better than anything else? It is the best.
Yep.
Nah, he has to commit now.
I just don't play your games.
I know.
Silly, silly games.
You're no fun anymore, Gabe. I remember when you were fun.
Wow.
What made him not fun?
He hung out with me for too long.
He learned.
Yeah, he learned. Do you remember our old car rides, Gabe? Those are wild.
That's true. Fun fact, Philip and I used to work together at a different place.
At a different place that's not
how
here.
we know each other. We know each other from a long time ago. And then
His
we got
dad-
a job together. And he quit.
I-
Left me.
I did.
So then
I
you
got out at the right time.
You did. And then you got a job here.
And then I got a job here, and
And I
then
joined.
I
followed.
got Gabe a job here. He got me a job in the first place,
It's true.
and I got him a job here. We're even. I mean, this job's way cooler, so I don't know if we're
Yeah.
even. Even's a strong word. What kind of soup?
Sounds good.
Soup sounds good. If you say chowder,
It
I'm gonna
is
be
soup
angry 'cause it's
time,
not-
right?
Chowder is not.
It
a
is
soup.
the soup time of year.
It is.
If you like soup, you're loving it.
I had pho yesterday.
That sounds real. I'm getting pho on the way home now.
Uh-oh.
Oh, matzah is so
Phil's
good.
decision has been made.
Matzo ball soup, so good. My mom made it growing up all the time.
Where do you go to get pho? Phil?
Depends. There was a place over by. It's closed
No,
a couple
that's
years
diaper.
ago. What?
It depends.
Oh yeah. No, those are on my desk. I
Those are my desk.
don't have them on right now. They're on my desk.
Your depends?
Yeah. There's a place I used to go to.
Do you do that for fun?
over by the Costco? Poop my pants? Yeah. I do.
Have you guys seen that video? It's like, dang it. I just pooped my pants.
I love that video. So I think I sent you that video.
Probably.
Hey,
'Cause
real
you said-
talk, chat. If you did the depends challenge, could you do it?
What's the depends challenge?
Yeah, what is that?
You put them on and you poop yourself.
Oh,
I'd do it in a heartbeat.
yeah, I could do that.
No question.
I can't.
every
I'd do it every day.
oh my god.
Wait, that's a challenge?
My body doesn't tell me it has to use the bathroom until it has to use the bathroom. So,
The amount of times the amount of times I've hung out with Gabe and he's just been like, I gotta poop. And then just like leaves in the middle of whatever he's doing is my favorite thing.
Yeah. There are definitely times where it's my fault, where it shows up and I'm like, not right now. I'll
Who
deal
else's
with it
fault
later.
would it be?
And then I forget, and then it comes back twofold.
I like how we talk about it as it shows up.
Shows up.
Like
It
you got
arrives at
like
my
the
doorstep.
doorbell rang and you got a delivery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not right now. Come back
Yeah,
later.
no, I'll come back later. When you wait too long, they break the door down.
Yeah.
So you gotta go. You have to go.
Sometimes it's very unforgiving.
So I don't think I'd have a problem cooking myself.
Gabe, you're super.
I hope it's.
Jen says you're
I'm
very quiet.
Can't do it.
I'm not super close to the mic. There. How about that?
It's 5 o'clock.
It is.
It's 5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock here.
somewhere.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to film this till the morning.
Yeah.
But we'll film it first thing.
Cool.
Wait.
I don't think I have anything until noon tomorrow, so
Cool.
unless I get
Cool.
back to my desk and all the people that I tell I'm usually free on Tuesdays have decided to
Have
book
decided
me
they
for
wanna-
tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll do.
Seriously.
Gabe is just shy.
The neat thing with painting this way is that if you're preparing your model and you know you're going to be doing a lot of filters or washes on it and things like that, then you don't have to worry about your edge highlights being overly saturated on any part of the model, meaning that I can do the feet just as bright as I'm doing the head, because we'll apply the filter, the wash, right? And the wash will dull all of these down, and then when we go back and highlight the second time, we just do it like waist and up. Right,
Oh,
so
yeah,
all of
that's
these highlights will exist on the feet and the legs, but they'll drop down in value after the wash, because we'll do like a black noosh wash on it, and then that'll darken all these edges down quite a bit. And then after we do that, we just come back and edge highlight the top that's towards the brighter spots. But now this spot will also have edge highlights on it. It'll just look like we used, a totally different color. But we didn't. We'll come back with the white blue again later. This was basically an eBay rescue model.
Oh, dang.
That's cool.
Also, I tried to find a starter box for Adeptus Titanicus, and I could not find one. That was very sad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're very rare.
I looked at some models this weekend. I
Very,
forget
very
which
rare.
ones.
You gotta, maybe you could get like on the Adeptus Titanicus groups on Facebook
Yeah.
and find people that are selling stuff. There's an Adeptus Titanicus sales group,
I'm sure.
so there's all sorts
I'll
of
have to look.
spots where you can find people getting rid of whole armies and stuff that are pre-built. Or I saw one the other day that the guy was, just a bunch of stuff in a box I'll never do, but he's finally getting around to selling it because the Imperialis, whatever they call it,
Oh, that new game.
yeah, is coming out. So people are,
Oh, selling all their stuff to buy the new things.
well, or they just know that people are going to be interested in the new game, so they can finally actually sell their stuff.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah. Because it's the same scale, right?
it's the same. Yeah, same models.
Yeah.
The Titans are all the same. You just don't use the dashboard the same way or any of that.
Yeah, it's more like
Which is a
Alpha
bummer.
Strike.
The way you're explaining it is just a bummer that they didn't do that, because it's cool. The dashboards are fun.
It's what makes the game.
Yeah.
It does have that.
But the other game is a mixed.
Yeah, you got tanks and infantry and
Yeah.
everything now.
So I get that they wanted to make sure that the Titans didn't rule the day or take up all of the game learning and rules.
Are they
But
just?
I still think they would have been better to do so because, at the end of the day, the thing that you're playing the game for is going to be mostly
Titans.
the big Titans.
Yep.
Yeah.
not a bunch of tanks that get picked up in handfuls or stands with like 5 teeny weeny space marines on them.
Yeah. Are they War Scrolls?
I don't know. I haven't seen the rules. The rules have been like shown. I just haven't
Yeah.
paid attention, so I don't know. I'm bad in that way that if I look at it and I'm like, well, that didn't meet my expectations, I kind of ignore it.
Yeah.
I
I think that's fair. I do that too.
Hey, is Mo here? Mo, you here?
Mo.
Calling Mo.
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 I don't know if I've seen him come in.
I don't think so. I don't think we've got a Mo.
No Mo.
So
No
I've been
Mo.
picking on Mo because Mo's been reading. I don't know who else has been reading The End in the Death Part 2. But I'm almost to the end now,
Oh.
and I'm very frustrated.
Did they not end
Why?
it well?
Huh?
Did they not end it well?
It's not even about ending it well or not well. It's about how they're milking the end of the story for cash through selling more books,
As I said, they're kind of setting up another book.
right?
Jacob, are you leaving?
they've
Bye,
taken
Jacob.
Bye, Jacob.
they've taken the end of this thing that should have been. I give them maybe they could do it in 2 books
Yeah.
and get away with it, and they're turning it into 3.
Ugh.
And it's just like the second one, just like the first one, is like maybe a half a book's worth of info that's worth a damn,
That's a bummer.
and then just a bunch of filler to sell a book to sell you an 18-hour listen or 350 pages or whatever it is.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Do it. So it's a shame.
Third one's not out yet.
Slayer Street, take it easy.
Bye. You have a good evening as well.
If you had realized it was going to be 3 books, you would have skipped this one. How do you skip the end of the story? You can't do it though. They got you.
Is this like the end of like the Horse Heresy? Like,
They did a Hobbit on the books, Ghost
Yeah.
Hunter. Yeah, it's the end of the Horse Heresy. This is it. This is the
end.
final books.
and they hobbited
And so they're
it.
milking it for money, and in doing so, they're not making the story interesting. It's like it's got really great parts. I defined it when somebody asked me in an interview recently if I was reading any of the Black Library books, and I said, "Yeah, I'm reading The End of Death," and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what do you think? And they were very jazzed about it, and I was like, "It's the worst, best book I've ever read."
That's funny.
And he's like, "Really? Why?" And I was like, "Because they're milking it."
Yeah.
It's like,
dragging
this
it
does
along a
not
little
need
bit
to
too
be
much.
3 books. The only reason this is 3 books is for commercial revenue. And I'm
That's-
okay with that. I get it. I we have a company. We have to do things for money too, but it's like, come on.
This is a
If
Black
you're going to make the
Library book.
determination that, we have to have this many books because we have to sell and earn that much revenue off of the idea because it's going to be over, so let's take advantage of it
Yeah.
and its finale, I get it. But coordinate your effort so that the books are fun to read.
Yeah.
For those of us that have been following along that kind of already know, we've been a part of this story for years and
I was gonna say-
decades
I was
as
gonna
we've
say
been following
decades
along
now.
with it. And it's like, yeah, you're just literally making it drag.
How many books are there now for that specific the Horse
Well,
Heresy?
this makes 60 something total, right? Because I think the regular series ended at like 52
Yeah.
ish with the buried dagger. And then you started into the Siege of Terra, and the Siege of Terra is now up to 9 books.
Do you have now theoretically if someone wanted to get into it, do they have to start from the beginning or could they
You
kinda-
need to read the first 4 or 5 books.
Got it.
Because those are really solid
Set the
books
tone.
that set the whole thing up.
Got it.
And then you can skip around
Got it.
based on like what legions you like and what you
Okay.
want to find. And then there are some that you really need to focus in and that are really good reads, like Legion and
I'm sure someone's got a chart.
Mechanicus and things like that are in the first beginnings of the books. And then as it drags on, there's a lot of sporadic
Stuff.
stories that are
Stuff.
neat,
Yeah.
but
Not necessarily needed.
not needed at all. No.
Okay.
Like, they're nothing that you have to know.
I've always wanted to like get into the Horse Heresy
Yeah.
lore.
The
I think-
Siege
I
of
think-
Terra books, this entire 9-book series, I think you need to read. It has been, by and large, very, very good.
Yeah.
The last 3 books have not been the best, which is a bummer because that's where you're ending it. You know, Aaron Dembski Bowden wrote the one before the end books, and it was not good.
Ugh.
And I say this, it's tough for me to say that because all of them have amazing storytelling in them, and they're using the stuff that you would know from the Heresy,
Yep.
and really like there's a bunch of, no matter if I say the book is good or bad, there's a bunch of moments in the books, all
That
of
are
them
good.
where the hair on the back of my neck stands up. It's like, oh my god,
Yeah.
they're gonna do it. Those kind of moments.
Yep.
And so that's really rad, but it's like, okay, but you they can't get out of their own way to get to those parts. They take way too long.
That's a bummer.
And you just wish it's like, come on, guys, this is not that hard. And it just has, like, this entirety of book 2 of The End and the Death, book 2 of 3. And book 2, like, the entire thing, we've been on the Vengeful Spirit. 18 hours of book. We've been with all the pertinent characters at the in-game finale location.
Oh jeez.
And yet, we're not progressing it to a point where you feel much different about it now. There's some neat revelations, and they've really done some great storytelling, but like I said, this should have been the end. We should have had half of this book in the first book, and the chaff in the first book not in the first book, and then the rest of the story that I know is going to only take up half of the book in the third book should have already been in this one, and it should be over.
Should be over. Done.
Like, I should be here ringing the bells of why you need to read about the Horus Heresy because how they ended is so bitchin'. Because I feel like they're going to do it in a really bitchin' way. But they're just milking this cow way too long and losing a lot of us in the wake.
That's a bummer.
I'll still read it
Yeah, that's the
because
problem.
I'm too invested not
Yep,
to.
that's the problem. That's why
I know they
can
got
do
me.
it.
So there you go.
All right, boys and girls.
Are we losing a Philip?
Yeah, my dog's still home. He probably needs to go potty. I think my brother's camping today, so he might have left already.
Camping on a Monday?
Yeah, he's still in college, so he had homework all weekend. So he's mad at his professors for giving him so much homework over fall break.
Oh, over basically the holiday.
Yeah, so he basically spent his whole holiday doing homework and not actually enjoying the break. And so he said, "Screw it, I'm skipping classes. I'm gonna go.
That's funny.
Camping."
Good for him.
So he's off camping today. So doggo's home alone, so I need to go let him out.
Did he take his dog or does he not have a
Yeah,
dog?
no, he takes his dog everywhere.
That's awesome.
Yeah, his dog is just a little guy. He's a miniature Aussie, like Australian Shepherd.
Oh, awesome.
So he's like 30 pounds, full grown. But he just looks like a puppy, like an Australian Shepherd puppy.
Yeah,
but
all
just
the time.
all the time. Just as much energy as a full grown one, just tiny.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so he's super fun. So he goes everywhere with my brother. But I will see you guys. Well, I'll see my coworkers tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be in stream tomorrow. I'll try after work.
Chat,
Bye.
be nice.
You
Tell
don't have
Phil
to be
goodbye.
nice to me. I don't
Bye,
care.
Phil.
Have a good night. Be here or else. What are you gonna do? See you tomorrow.
As he leaves.
Take it easy, man. Drive safe getting home. I will. Tell the dog hi.
Go see you're on book 48. I don't know if I could do that. That's too many books. Too many books for me.
I've probably read, I would throw a number out there arbitrarily. I've probably read 30 prior to the Siege of Terra, and then I've read obviously all the Siege of Terra books. But I would say I've probably read 30, not including some of the anthologies. It's a great series. It's been going since I worked at GW, so to give you an idea.
Oh, dang.
So it ain't like, I think that's probably one of the reasons I'm so antsy. Is because, look, dude, I've been reading this for decades. And I feel like GW is being like, well, yes, you can wait another one. And I'm like, no, you've shown us that you're willing to write the end of this story they've never shown. I never thought we would know things they've been telling us already. I legit never thought that they would give us the insight into the Emperor that we've gotten in, like, this last book.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, it makes me excited to think that they're doing it because they're ready to expand the narrative in 40K. That they need to complete the heresy to grow the story for their moneymaker, you know?
Yeah.
That's my hope.
Yep.
Because we've got a lot of big changes going on, and well, the potential for big changes. I can't ever guarantee we have them because they may change it all. Rug pull us. But right now, Abnett has done some pretty amazing things with the storyline in the Beckwin Eisenhorn trilogy. What do you call it when it's 9 books? The 9-book trilogy.
I don't know.
In book 9 of the trilogy. But there's some amazing things going on. And I think they need the heresy to complete to bring them full circle because they involve the Emperor and Constantine Valdor and all these characters of note in the heresy are involved directly in 40K. And so I feel like they got to end the heresy so that we know the outcome for those characters, so that then when you pick up the next book in 40K, that makes sense. Because I think we're going to have a big time jump of why these characters are re-entering the universe after all this time, and what drives their thinking is all going to be based on what happened at the end of the heresy. Especially Valdor.
Are all these books written from a third person point of view?
No, but mainly. They're all told, like, you know, scenic narrative. They skip a lot of times character to character. and sometimes within a section of it, like in these books, you'll skip to Malkador the Sigillite, and the Sigillite will be talking first person about his experience at this time of the book. So it'll bounce around a lot like that.
Mo, what's up?
I asked about you before I started talking about the book, Mo. Did somebody text you? Mo, Fuse wants to talk heresy. I always want to know what Mo thinks about the book. Have you finished it yet? Or have you lost enough energy with the whole thing that you're not finishing it?
You leaving, Jacob? Heading out?
Yep.
Thanks for hanging with us.
Most of it was an 18.5-hour book, and that was 18 hours too long.
No, I would describe it as being about 9 hours too long. I'll give it that it had content that was spectacular for half of the book. Because it has had a lot of revelatory moments that I'm like, oh my god, that's freaking awesome. But then the other 9 hours can jump off a pier. They've gotten into this habit at the Black Library of telling you the same thing 40 times. Using different words that they had to dig up an old thesaurus to figure out.
Dust off G-Paw's thesaurus.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. And you can tell the standard, like when one of your favorite artists learns a new word, you can tell, or the editor, it might not be the writer, it could be the editor, learns a new word because they use it all the time.
That's funny.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Take it easy, man.
Bye, Jacob.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Enjoy your salmon.
It's coming out super cool.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really scary seeing it covered in
noosh.
It's gonna look dope. It's gonna look dope afterwards, but that fear at the beginning.
Yeah, that's part of what we'll talk about, right?
Yeah.
Is the whole okay, so you've gotten a model to this point, and then you're telling me that I'm gonna throw grime all over it? Yes.
You're gonna goop it up.
You're
gonna noosh it.
You're gonna noosh it. That's what you do.
I love that noosh is both a noun and a verb.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
Noosh it.
Just gonna be doing some nooshing. You know?
What are you doing tonight? Nooshin?
Yeah, we're nooshing.
Excuse me?
What'd you do to those things? Oh, I nooshed them.
Do I need to talk to your mother? Are you nooshing again?
Be a funny video. I'm addicted to nooshing.
Oh, that would be so good.
Yeah.
As like a family intervention video.
Yeah.
Like, my son is in a cult. Cult of noosh.
Cult of noosh.
It's not a cult. Mom, you just don't understand. You've never understood me. Oh, arm. Nearly done. I've learned it from watching you, Dad. Oh, that's right. We wanted to do a commercial like that.
Yep.
I think that's one of the ones we lost for a while, Jen. So, perfect. Write it down, Gabe.
It's on the whiteboard. It's on my whiteboard.
It is?
Yeah.
That one is?
Should be.
Should be.
It's on the
Hear that,
whiteboard.
chat?
I have transferred it to a document, which is also called the whiteboard.
Is it?
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah, isn't it cool, Clarkatron? It's a cool look. The green and jade together.
When I did my Death Guard the first time, the goal was to get a very bruised white. And so this, with a little bit of yellowing on the top, can give you, something that feels very...
Yeah.
And this guy's not even done, right? This guy just has the bronze done on him. I think I do have more up here. Right. So this has all of the weathering done to it. And so this is exactly the same. It's just once you do the weathering over it with like browns and yellows and blacks and stuff, you get that streaky, grimy, bruised color out of the model, right? That gives you kind of that bone look. But it started like this. And so that's what we're going to do with Noosh in the video, is show you how to grime up a model, right? Because this guy obviously, yeah, sure, parade ready Death Guard, whatever. That doesn't seem right. That's not how the story goes.
Looking pretty cool.
Yeah. So, you get a nice, fresh, clean paint job, and then you go screw it all up by putting a filter on it is the goal. But you get really, really good results. And we're going to show you how to do it on the video. You got to wait for the end. This is like a cliffhanger, our first cliffhanger video.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to wait for the YouTube video. This one's for free. Then you got to go, oh, wait, YouTube's also free. Turns out, all our videos are free.
YouTube's also free.
We didn't think this out, Gabe.
Okay, so I have a question about your edge highlighting. Because I've taken the step into finally doing edge highlighting.
Sure.
Instead of just dry brushing. So I picked a light source, right? Which was the front of the model, kind of to the right, where my hand is.
Okay.
But I see you're painting the back of it. You're also edge highlighting the back of the miniature.
Yeah.
I didn't. So where do you determine the light source is coming from for the back?
Well, over here, I just did the left side of every panel line.
Okay.
And the top and left, everywhere. So top and left. So left side of the inside here, left side of the outside here. Top of the bottom edge, top of the top edge, right?
Okay.
So you just try to keep highlight on the right and then whatever top. So these areas are the best, right? Top, right? Left side.
Yep.
Left side, top, right? None of the right sides get highlighted.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. Top, left, top, left, top, left, top, left, top, left. Then when you turn it around, it becomes top right because the light is coming from his right shoulder, which on the front makes it left edge when looking at him, and on the back makes it right edge.
Okay.
So it's just consistency is what I'm looking for.
So you're doing light as if it's like directly to the side of him.
Well, kind of side and up, right?
Side
I'm getting
up,
that top
okay.
edge too.
Okay.
Remember that we're painting guys that are like you and I, and there's not as much variation in light across 6 to 10 feet.
Right.
Right? We do the extra contrast and make it to where the top's ultra bright, the bottom's not, because it's a 3-inch tall thing.
Right.
And so in order to pick up all those details, we put false contrast on the model.
Right.
Right. When in reality, even this guy who's 10 feet tall, he'll cast a lot of shadow because of the girth of his upper torso, right? But we have that, right? We have all the shadow on the lower side of the torso, right? Tops of the thigh plates a little bit and all that. But, we still want to build in that kind of false darkness.
Right.
And so you pick that edge and you go hard with it. But I will do it all the way down like I talked about, because we'll put the noosh on here and these edges will dim down.
Yep.
Right? And then we'll go back and do those edges again up top once we've done it. And so it'll be brighter up on the top part of the carapace and the legs will be darker.
Honestly, you saying right then top and then turn around and it's left then top makes me just...
Yeah, it's just a
like,
reverse
why
edge
did I,
when you
why
turn
did
the
I
model around.
rack my brain for so long? Every time I looked at a panel, like, okay, if the light's going to hit this, where's it going to be? But now it's like, oh, it's the top.
Well,
and
and
right.
you might have
It's top
times
and
where
it's
that
right.
makes a difference. You might be doing something where you have a very specific light source, right? So, like, I don't like. What do I have? This guy's pretty. right?
Right.
So this guy, you put on there, and you've got a light source. And even though there's some edge highlighting, but this wasn't about that. This was about using color to be your highlight, right?
Yeah.
And so you got darkness and color on the model. And so it's all coming top right for us, his left shoulder,
Yep.
right? And so you'll see stuff fall off into darkness. I'm still edge highlighting those edges. They're just with darker colors.
Yep.
Because you still want to pick out detail, but you just turn the volume of light down as you move away from your light source. And so that's what I've done here. And then when you go to the back, I didn't do anything.
It's just dark. Yeah.
Because this has a very specific forward in space feel. So the back would be almost black,
Yep.
right? And then you just have I've highlighted around the edges. So I get that halo effect, right? So that as you then turn him, right, the light comes into the scene, so to speak, right?
Yep.
And you get a more dramatic effect. So you can do that and not worry about, okay, paint the back and reverse your
Right.
highlight. Because that's for diffuse lighting, like when we walk outside. That's called
Right.
diffused because the sun and the atmosphere of the earth work together to diffuse the lighting so that it's not just coming. The sun, in a direct sense, has got light coming from wherever the sun is. But everything in your environment's reflecting it, including the atmosphere. The atmosphere is acting as a diffuser on a lamp. And so that spreads the light out, right?
Right.
And so that's now allowing it to bounce off of all the things in your environment, concrete floor, building behind
Right.
you, all of that stuff. So you don't have all that dramatic shadow necessarily.
Right. Right. Okay.
Unless it's a super clear day, sun, no clouds, right?
Yep.
And then casting long shadows at particular times. Then you have pure darkness on the back.
Right.
You know, and so you just got to play in your mind, like, what are you trying to envision?
Okay.
Me, when painting models for tabletop wargaming, 9 times out of 10, what we're trying to do is create a feeling of diffuse lighting. You know?
Okay.
Now, you may want to think about it in a soot-covered atmosphere, and so you don't do it very bright. And that's where the grimdark comes from. Because you can imagine, like, all of these things have got nuclear winter on these planets from all the combat. So there's not a lot of direct sunlight. So you don't want to overly brighten it
Okay.
up unless there's a reason to.
So generally, regular tabletop, you're going to edge highlight the front and the back because you're wanting your light to seem diffused based on the
Generally, I mean, I've
surroundings.
learned to paint the
Okay.
backs of models because that's the part I get to look at as the owner, which is completely unfair, but I still want to look at it. Right? Because
That's
I
so
have
true.
to look at my models this way all the time. right?
Yeah,
So,
that's funny.
you know, when you're doing that, that's one of the things we were talking about when starting to paint these guys,
Yeah.
is that the detailing on the back is sometimes even better, right? And I'm like, well, that's really cool because for once, like, the model looks better going than coming, you know, because
Yeah.
they're all hunched over, so the amount of detail you can get from the front is limited to like they're the hands and the face,
Yep.
because they're all hunched over, so the chest isn't going to give you a lot of detail, but the back now exposes way more, you know, and in a way that when you put them on the table, you're like, oh yeah, so we got to make that look cool. So
So when you zenithal, are you also zenithaling from that top left
Yeah.
side, or are you just doing from top?
no, from 10 and 2, I call it.
Okay.
So you can imagine, like, your best areas. Do I have a zenithal model here that is done that way? So, like, this guy's pretty much done that way.
Yep.
Right? From the 2 side.
Yep.
And so it's coming, like, here over his left shoulder and getting more of the shield and then casting shadow as it goes back away from that.
Yep.
Right? But then on the back, same thing. It just is going to come from the 10.
Other side.
Right? And so
Okay.
all the shadows start moving over towards this side of the clock.
And
just
then you'll
because
make sure
the
that
light
you're-
is here.
And then all your edge highlights are going from the same direction.
They will, yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah, because, you know, it's one light source in most cases. Like when we're talking about it, you would shoot it from. It's funny because this guy with just a little bit of detailing could be done. Like,
Yeah.
So but I usually pick one location.
Yeah.
And when you do your zenithal, that's one of the things that teaches you all of this very quickly, because you take it and you pinpoint, you know, where your light is. The airbrush becomes your light source. So I tell people to think of the airbrush as the sun. The sun's not moving as this guy's moving. This guy may move in the sunlight, but because the sun is this huge thing, that doesn't change the direction of lighting. He could walk a mile and the light source isn't going to change unless
Right.
he's super slow, and by the time he gets there, the sun's lower in the horizon, right? But, you know, generally you're going to keep the airbrush. That's why I always say when you're zenithal, like if we wanted to do it off of his left, our right, then we would prop the airbrush here at like 2 o'clock. I say 10 and 2. Those are the most interesting because they put enough shadow on a model. Whereas if you go noon, right, and just spray top down, you get really disinteresting shadows.
Mhm.
You know, the bottom of the face, everything's top bottom. It
Yep.
becomes too linear, and a lot of the sculpts don't look good. But if you go from the side, then you get interesting shadows.
Yeah.
And so, you know, the inner leg and all that kind of stuff. So this guy
Right.
looks pretty good with the way we didn't zenithal him, but that's the way I applied the base coat colors too.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So if you treat it like the sun is here, then like I've always said, let me back this out a little bit so you can see it, and point it towards the camera a little better. So if the sunlight is coming from here, then also don't spray your zenithal like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't move the airbrush around because the sun doesn't do that. The sun sits here. And so the sun does have the ability to light from his shoulders to his feet, and you're not going to do that with the airbrush here. So you bring it down and keep it at the same angle
Yep.
until you're down here. You're actually aiming off the model when you're painting the foot in a lot of cases because you're just getting overspray in order to
Yeah.
not point at the foot. Because if you point at the foot, you've now just changed your whole light angle,
Right.
right? And so your shadows suffer from that. You want
Right.
to keep it the same and just move the airbrush linear up and down as if it was attached to a pole. And that's going to give you your sunlight. And then what you do with the model is you spray and you get one side and then you rotate a little bit and do the same thing up and down.
Yep.
And then a little bit more and up and down. And then by the time you get here, you're just feathering your light because now you're pointing towards darker areas.
Right.
And by the time you're over here, maybe you don't put anything.
Yep.
Right? And then you do the same thing, rotate it around the front, right? Keep the angle on the airbrush the same and just run it along that pole. And then by the time you get about 180 degrees of the model is what you're trying to paint, by the time you're looking at it square in the front, you kind of stop and it feathers the paint over here. And because you've done it like this, you've got the top of this shoulder, you've got these parts of the gun, you know, anything the model doesn't block
Yep.
has gotten hit. And then you make a determination because it's also going to mean that there's going to be real dark stuff here and maybe on the top of the shoulder because the paint got blocked by the missile launcher. Do you want that? Or do you kind of come over here and then kind of feather in color on the dark side just to lighten it up because you know you're not going to have true black unless you have a real stark like spotlight shining on it. So feathering it helps.
And this model in particular, you did it at 10 o'clock, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, like 10 and 2. Basically with the kind of like over, well, technically over here at the end,
Okay.
right? But I didn't really think about it. It wasn't really one of my goals. I just am thinking top down, you
Cool.
know. And then when I do my edge highlights, that kind of pulls the lighting by picking a side. But yeah, that's always good stuff to think about because the power of a zenithal highlight is beyond just the are you going to use it for glazing or speed painting,
Yeah.
right? Like contrast paints and things like that have made it something that everybody now knows how to do
Yep.
because they kind of want you to do that. It's a good way to show you how light works
Yep.
on a three-dimensional surface.
Yeah,
But
well,
you
even-
have to remember to keep your light source in the same spot in the sky, and then just rotate your model a little bit the way it would in the real world, right? But not do this side. Because I see a lot of people just spray it. You got dark on the bottom and bright on the top. And then it's hard to find your highlights. As you're painting your colors, it doesn't act as good of a as a guide
Yeah.
through the whole painting process. Because you can imagine if all your brightness is on one side, then as you're painting, you pull all your brighter colors towards that side. It already is baked into your conscious that that's where all my lighter, brighter colors
Yeah.
go. Right?
Mo asked, how did the new stuff go? How well did the new stuff go?
What's that?
Mo asked, how well did the new stuff go?
Fantastic. It was a great product launch. Thank you, everybody, for helping out with that. It is almost haircut time, I gotta go. But yeah, it went very well, like Jen said. We're going to be backed up for at least a week, catching up with orders.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you. All the retailers and stuff, their orders have been really good. Everybody's jumped on board with the fluorescence and the noosh and everything. So now it's really just, starting to get content done. That's what we're painting this guy for. I'll be shooting a noosh video with Gabe tomorrow now. We were going to try to do it tonight, but we'll be shooting this tomorrow. To show some detailed ways to use noosh, my plan is to go in with like a black-brown noosh first to get shading on the entire model, and I will take a lot of that off, and then I'll go in very specifically with the noosh and show you how to work in more areas and do, more like streak weathering and stuff like that. So I'll spend a lot of time, and most of the detailing will get done that way. Obviously, I have to do things like paint missile mounts and the black rubber on the gun and things like that. I'm not as concerned with that right now. But this is at a good spot where we can go through and detail it with noosh and show you how to take a model that, we've painted very quickly for a big model too, right? I mean, we just painted it during the 3.5 hours on stream.
Yeah.
And you can get a big model to the point to where for 9 times out of 10, if you just painted the tips of the missiles and the eyeballs, this model could be done.
Yeah.
And paint the base, obviously. And then we're just going to show you how noosh can take it that next step to give you the extra detailing you want on a model like this. So you can take these basic fundamentals. Now I can't leave well enough alone, right? I use 3 colors on my general white workup. You could do that in 2, you know.
Yeah.
But you guys are the only ones that don't know the secret on that. When I start the video tomorrow, we're just going to go, hey, I'm going to take this simple paint job and show you how Noosh works.
Yeah.
And you guys will all be like, he's cheating.
Yeah. Until the VOD gets posted.
He's
And then
cheating.
they find it.
Oh, yeah, we'll have to put, hey,
Yeah.
if you want to see
Yep.
how he did the paint before the Noosh, check out this link.
Ghost Hunter, you definitely can put fluorescent paints with Noosh.
Sure. You're getting some hellaciously bright shadows.
Yeah.
So it would work really good on something that was like a magma golem, right? Something that had like fire on the inside, Human Torch, stuff like that. You know, where you were trying to light up the inside because they're cracking apart, or stone skin and lava. For lava, I think it would be great.
Yeah.
You paint a lava base, and then you take like, you know, yellow fluorescent and noosh it into the crevices and wipe it away, and then some orange, you know, feather across the top, and then paint the stone black and brown, and all of a sudden you have instantaneous lava starting from a white base. So I think there's some really interesting things you could do with noosh and the fluorescence. It's not the way my brain is wired, because I just don't think that way. I already have those things, so I got to kind of dig out of my old dog no new tricks when thinking about noosh and bright colors, but it does a lot. There's a lot of ability there. You know, we've shown you in the past how you can take, I don't remember where that guy is, here, where you can take and do things like, you know, a brighter blue undertone for the Marines, and so you wind up with a kind of a bright blue in the shadows, right? And so Noosh could do that, right? It could give you something like that, where you've got just kind of a neat, almost alien feel to it. It's not what we're used to seeing, but it provides some real cool interest. Almost like the armor itself is glowing, or...
Oh, yeah, like skin?
Yeah.
Like, that could be cool.
You know?
Yeah.
So we're getting a cool, like, otherworldly glow on the armor, and we did this just with the metallic dry brushing technique that we teach, and using bright blue and sky blue underneath silver and dark silver, right? So the same way we did the rust, we just used dark blue and bright blue to show the options of using brighter colors underneath. So Noosh would allow you to do that, you know, as a secondary process over the top of what you've done. It's just something to play with.
Yeah.
Find out what you like, and if there's some cool thing you can pull off, that's awesome. Dreadnought is giving me the Huron Fall vibes. Is that a character? Not a name I recognize. I lose my nerd card. This death is ours. We choose it. We deny your victory. Well, I'm excited to do the news, and I'm excited for you guys to see everything that we do with it. So hopefully by end of the week, maybe? I don't know. We'll see how quick we can get it done. Oh, on Isvan 3. The Loyalist one. Yes. Yes. Poor guy. All right, gang. We're done. We got to go. I got to go get my ears lowered. Gabe needs to go home. Jen probably wants food. So there's a lot to do in a small amount of time. But thank you so much, Gabe, with all the links. Thank you, Gabe, for sitting in for Jen here at the end. And as always, remember, we stream 5 days a week, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time here in Arizona. We'd love to see you catch up with us more if you can. If you're new here, hit that follow button. You get all the updates and all that stuff. Also, follow those links, because the store and the FLGS link will take you to all the places you can buy Monument products. All the paints and brushes and stuff you see us use are ours. And then the Discord gives you a community of thousands, literally thousands of artists that you can come hang out with, get great inspiration, and just talk. Fart jokes, dogs, puns, bad joke, whatever. We're there all day, every day. So come hang out with us there, and we'd love to see you back. Make sure to stick around. We are going to give this thing into a raid, so show some love in the channel we end up on, and we will catch you back here same bat time tomorrow. Adios, gang. Have a great evening. We're out.
Bye.